today, brothers and sisters. So please, black people, this is our conversation today. So please do request up. Earwigs, good to see you as well, my brother. Hi, Catalina. Thank you. Thank you for those lovely compliments yesterday, Catalina, in that live that we were in. I was up on the panel and you were in the comment section. So thank you for saying that you enjoy my lives. Appreciate that. Dark Skin Coffee as well. Good day to you. I think it's been a while since you've been here, right? I think it's been a little time since I've seen you here. So welcome. Yeah, thank you, lovely. Thank you. I'm all about positivity and empowerment. Like that's where I'm at. And, you know, some people aren't. They're not. And there's nothing you can do about that. Oh, really? You've been listening to me for several months. Oh, have you had a different username? Because I've never noticed you before. Yes, thank you. Yes. Leanne always comes by. She's a moderator, of course, as well. So today, guys, I mean, the last weekend, we, of course, talked a lot about Jason Arday, and I've been speaking about him every day. And, of course, the conversation will continue. That is a massive thing in the black community, the black diaspora. We are hurting, man. Like, we are hurting. And I've said yesterday about how we're not doing enough as black Brits to, you know, I don't think that we've got enough fire here. And I do think that we are suffering black fatigue. That a lot of people, or black Brits, don't seem to actually understand what black fatigue is and how it's manifested itself. No enemies. How are you, my love?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm not bad. It's been, as I say, a difficult week with the news of Professor Dr. Jason Arday. But, you know, as long as we keep talking about him and keep moving forward, that's really important. I'm just going to address the bitter white person in the comment section. Why you're racist? Why only black people? Because I can. Next question. Next question. No enemies. Is there anything on your mind at the moment anything you want to discuss or talk about in the world of blackness?
It's insofar as the diaspora a little bit. I think, I'm not sure if you've seen recently, but there's been a few little diaspora wars on this app, which I thought was a bit weird, seeing as how it was right after we had the march in August for the reparations that was led by Dr. Umar. And I just found it a little bit weird that right after that, you know, black people were coming on the app to argue about the most trivial things. There was a lot of xenophobia and tribalism. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, all of this stuff, and even the term diaspora wars, you know, that never came for us. White people never get on. So why is it that we have these phrases? All of these phrases that are given to us that black people end up using are literally pushed by the algorithms. They're pushed by white narcissism, because everything that they've ever done since they've met us is to remove our power and divide us. So yeah, this is the problem. I don't think enough black people are really understanding the games and the depth of what white people do. They're not seeing it. And you're right to pick up what it is and the timing of things. Everything is done so purposefully. It's done purposefully. And I don't know, man, like, it's just nonsense. It's a bunch of nonsense. It really is. Because every time we do organise and every time there is something, there always seems to be something to pull us back and down. But this is it, right? We have to be more focused on what we're doing and what not, and not on what is holding us back. Yes, we can identify the obstacles, but we have to keep moving forward, because that's who we are. That's how we have been, right? We have been. Angry Buddha, my dear, how are you as well, my love?
Well, I'm doing all right. I just came live though, that, I don't know, done my head. I don't know why I stayed there for so long. It's like, it was these Jamaicans, or these British Jamaicans, talking about how they're not African and how they're indigenous to Jamaica and all that nonsense, man. And like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. And like, the shit they're coming out with, like, you know, you're following the white man's books. I'm trying to say, have you got it twisted? Why would the white man tell you that you're not from Africa? That you are from Africa?
Yeah.
It makes
I don't know.
More sense. It makes more sense that an enemy will try to divide you, not unite you.
Yes.
Oh man,
yeah.
I
don't know this. Yeah, the whole diaspora or not from Africa conversation or FBA, all of those, I do avoid them, because once people are lost, they're lost. There's nothing that you can do to convince them. It is just really a case of you knowing who you are. In ... says they're just conspiracy theorists. I don't know, like this removal of black energy and knowing who oneself is a way that, of course, they first did it when they met us. Let's remove you from where you came from. And this is not, I mean, we knew black people were everywhere. We knew that. But this particular group of people who don't think that they're from the motherland, they literally just need to do a simple DNA test and everything will be solved. But they have also been indoctrinated to think that these DNA tests are not even right either. So it's so deep. It's really deep, this problem. But, you know, with these things, you have to just let people find their own way, you know. You really do. You have to protect your space, protect your peace and protect your energy when it comes to these kind of conversations on what you're hearing from other people, because it's quite easy sometimes to, like, find yourself off of the path as well. It's really quite easy to find yourself off of the path.
No, I get that, but, you know, obviously I cross-reference information that I get, you know. I mean, I'm finding out new things all the time, you know, like even in the Jamaican language, the word nyam, you know, when we say we're going to nyam some, you know, food, or when we say uno, come over here. This is African. And I said to them, where's that come from? They said the Americas. And I dropped. I said, I'm not there. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
like even our stories, and Nancy, when we came over to Jamaica, when the Africans came, they brought the stories of them.
Yeah, and Nancy. Oh my God, that's bringing me back to my childhood. My mother from Grenada, she always used to talk about Nancy. I haven't heard that for years. You know what? After this, I might call her and say, oh yeah, Mum, remember when you used to tell us a story about Nancy the spider? Yeah, there's so many things that she said. Oh, I know my mum misses back. I mean, she hasn't been back. She actually has now been back to Grenada since she's been in the UK, but it's only because I forced her to go and I paid for her flights. But she left there when she was 6 and then came to the UK, you know, so this is the problem a lot of the time, especially if those who are Windrush generation, and of course those in the US, they've not really had much outside of their own existence within the United States. And this is a really big problem, really, really big problem. Man, it's just sad, isn't it, really, Angry Buddha? It's just sad. It's just sad.
To keep educating ourselves and just keep reading, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because even what you do know, it's good to share it.
We don't have the luxury of just sitting back and, you know, Netflixing our days away. We need to educate ourselves.
Right. Honestly, it takes me now, and I know this is also an ADHD trait, but it literally takes me like 3 days, 4 days to watch a movie because there's too much other things to do and too many things to learn and too many TikTok lives to do to educate people, or at least bring people together to have this kind of conversation. So yeah, we've also got Umar on the panel. Umar Kadir. Umar, how are you? Oh. Yes, Umar, how are you? You okay?
I'm good, ma'am. I'm good.
Good.
Just living in the positive.
Good. Can I have the ethnic background of your biological parents, if I know them, please? This is obviously purposeful to know that this is a black people only panel today.
Yes, I'm Afro-Guyanese.
Mm-hmm. Both of your parents are?
Yes, both of them.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you so much, Umar.
Yes, my great-grandfather was a Grenadian, and my great-grandmother was a Barbadian.
Oh, nice. Lovely. See, I love this. I love the way that the diaspora gets connected through this conversation on a weekend. Like, I love it. There was one day where I had because I'm Nigerian and Grenadian and I was born in Britain. So we had also, I think because the Nigerian and Grenadian combination is quite rare, but I think I've had maybe 2 people so far. And then of course, a lot of Nigerians and then Grenadians, but I'm so, not connecting, because my journey is very much about decolonizing right now. I'm not really connected to my Grenadian side or my Nigerian side either. So, but it does make me feel really happy when I hear Grenada mentioned. I'm like, ah!
But you're connected in a way if you don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's always in here.
Do you know a lot? No. Do you know a lot of Grenadians came from the Gold Coast and Nigeria?
Please tell me more. Please tell me more.
Yes, they came from my great grandfather who was a Grenadian. His family is of the of the Gold Coast, which is present-day Ghana.
Yeah, I mean, I've done like the pair mum. Good to see you, by the way. And I will introduce you just very shortly. But good morning, hi. I've done my DNA, and it's so interesting because most of my DNA, it's like 95% or something like that, is Nigerian, Sierra Leonean, I can't remember what else, but then like 5% is Northern European, of course, because the rape. So, you know, my mother's side, I would love to know if she knows. I mean, I've asked her, but she doesn't really know too much about where she actually came from, and I need to get my DNA back up again, because I did this like 10, 15 years ago or something like that. I'm just going to address Ainsley Harriet in the comment section. Skeleton, sorry, not Ainsley Harriet. Ainsley Harriet ancestors owned slaves, LOL. First of all, why is that funny? Second of all, that was quite common because slavery goes back to 3,500 BC, like a lot of people did, including your ancestors most probably. So I don't know why you think that's funny, or if you think that's a rare thing, because white people enslaved each other, Asian people enslaved each other, black people enslaved each other. Like, it's kind of normal. So it's not the win that you think he is. I'm very aware, Pear Mum. Thank you so much. Thank you. And on that note, actually, Pear Mum, how are you today?
Well, thank you. Just a bit heated up. I was on a debate with South Africans that were completely disgusted with Nigerians and Ghanaians and wanted them out.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah,
oh my goodness.
Quite sad to
my goodness.
It's
too sad. Can I just get the ethnic background of your biological parents, if you know them, please?
Oh, Ghanaian.
Because it's black.
Ghanaian.
Both of them Ghanaian?
Yeah, both
Ghanaian.
of them. Yes.
Lovely.
Mom and Dad.
Welcome, sister.
Thank you so much.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. So, Mr. T, can I have the ethnic background of both of your biological parents, please?
Actually, I was born in London, but at the age of 7, my mum took me to Ghana because he thought he wanted to give us.
I just need to know the ethnic background of both your parents, please. The ethnic background?
My mum's Ghanaian. My late dad was Ghanaian.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. C. Thank you. So welcome to you guys, new to the panel. Me, yeah. So my dad's Nigerian and my mum's from Grenada, and of course I was born in Britain, so that's my background. Yeah,
you're very pretty, you know.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the compliment.
Are you taken?
I'm taken by God. I'm taken by the universe. The universe has set me on this path.
I can make you the happiest woman ever.
Oh, is that
so? For real.
Pretty on every side. Pretty on every side.
Thank you.
I can make you feel loved, make you feel good. You get me?
Is that right? How would you do that then? How pray tell would you do that?
I know how to treat women. That's all. So when my exes, we still become friends. You get me?
Okay, but why did you break up then? What was the reason?
You know how it goes, the usual, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know. Every relationship is different. Like, what went wrong? What went up?
When we go out and she sees me talking to other female friends, she gets jealous and then she doesn't know they're my friends I went to school with. You get me?
Jesus, Lord have mercy. Yeah, Dolly baby, you're right. Nah, man. That's ultimate disrespect. That's the ultimate disrespect. You don't do that shit. Because you wouldn't like it.
So when you go to a party and you meet your female friend, do you have to ignore them? You can't ignore them.
No, you don't ignore them. But the energy that you were clearly giving was not okay. Because I've been out with guys that have female friends. Cool. But you can see the thing on the next thing. And if I'm seeing the energy also from the woman too, because I read energy, I'm like, that's fucked up. I see it. Because I like it. If I'm with a man and he's confident and secure, that has also happened before where I've seen girls flirt with him and he's just like, yeah. His energy is this. And I'm like, I'm proud of him because he's not feeling that way. But if I see a little bit of the head tilt,
no, but most of the time, I'm not feeling they're just friends. We just meet and have a laugh.
Nah, man, I don't trust you. Not one bit. One bit.
Whenever you get to meet me, wherever you like me straight away, you get me.
No, I'm sure. No, and I think this is where other women are fucked up because the thing is, my brain is and my what do you call it? The frontal lobe is fully developed, Mr. T. So I don't fall for these games, and I'm 42, bruv. I'm 42. You can't pull this shit on me. Yeah, exactly. You thought I was young and underdeveloped, but I'm 42. I know this shit.
You're 42?
Yes.
No, but you look 35.
That tells a lot.
You look 35.
Yeah, I thank you. But I left the UK. I'm drinking good water every day. You know, the sun is shining.
So which country you in now?
I don't tell anyone.
Is it a secret? It's a secret, right?
Yes, it's a secret. Yes,
Why,
it is.
Are you in Dubai? I could guess you in Dubai.
No, I'm not in Dubai. I am in a Muslim country though, but I'm not in Dubai.
Egypt.
No, I would never go there. You won't be able to guess because I won't tell you. These guys who are here normally, they know that I never tell anyone because I don't want no bloody Brits coming here, no white Brits coming to colonise another place.
Wherever you are you there permanently or temporary?
Yes, I've been here for 4 years now.
So, okay.
Shall we move the conversation on to black things and black issues? Because this is not like a dating or flirting space.
No, I wanted to...
Can I ask you one question? Can I ask you one question?
One question quickly, and then Umar's got something that he...
I want to ask you, why is it that black relationships in England is struggling? Like black men and black women, they don't seem to get on.
That's a good question. I think that's a really good question. I'm seeing a lot of conversations regarding this, but I'm also seeing more to do with interracial relationships. First of all, I've talked a lot about the vibration in the UK being incredibly low. Thank you, moderators, for coming by and really doing what you're doing in the comment section. Yeah, first of all, the vibration in the UK and especially in London is very low. Black energy is not compatible with the entire island of the United Kingdom. Anywhere Europeans are the majority, blackness will never thrive. That's the first thing. And then secondly, because we are very far removed from our spiritual side and also culturally, and living in this white Western view now, I think there is a different expectation upon what relationships should be.
Because when you see other races, they stick to their own. They don't marry.
That's not entirely true. No, that's not entirely true. I think that's really a narrative that has been pushed. If you go to places which are majority so-and-so country, because if you go to any country in Africa, it's mainly going to be black dating black people. If you go to India, it's going to be mainly Indian dating India. But we live in a multicultural society in the UK, and so dating outside of your race is going to be more common.
I don't see many Indian guys going out with black women.
It does happen. I have. I've dated everybody. You have to go outside of London. You have to go outside of London.
You don't see a Chinese man married to a black woman.
It still does happen. I would say it's more rare in Chinese. It's more rare.
Mm-hmm. You don't see somebody from Cambodia married in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. Say that again, Umar?
That's very dominant in the Caribbean. Interracial marriage is very dominant in the Caribbean between Indians and black. Very dominant, especially by country Guyana. That we don't care about marrying our own thing, because if you're living in a multicultural society, it is normal for people to gravitate to each other. So the reason why it is easy for Europeans to gravitate to European, because you're living in a predominant white society. So who else you're going to gravitate to?
Exactly. Where I lived, there was hardly any black guys to date. So it was like, okay, well, most of the men I have dated ended up being white, because I'm outside of London. I'm not in a majority area. But the thing is, and when we're talking about dating, yes, there is an issue with black men and black women dating, but a lot of it is also to do with, like I said, the frontal lobe development, right? Women generally. Can I finish my point, please? Let me finish my point, Mr. T. So how it is currently is that women all around the world are being given the opportunities to evolve. Now we, of course, we used to be the homemakers, and we used to look after the children, and it used to be all about that. But we've also now been able to get the money and the career. And so a lot of men generally now feel like, well, where's my place? Where's my position? And it makes men feel very insecure. So they don't quite know where their place is. So it's not just a black issue, it is a male and female, and I'm just talking about, of course, cisgendered heterosexual relationships here. And it's a case of men to come into their power and to be like, right, you know what, I do need to do some work on myself, and I need to have a next level of confidence so I can be the best man I can be, not just for my partner, but for myself, which will also be good for humanity. But I'm going to bring in Pear Mum at the moment, because the men are too dominating up in here in those conversations. So
it's really getting hot in here. You're being chirps left, right, and centre. But now I'm hearing a lot that, I won't alter my DNA, and I'm actually moving towards that direction, because I'm beginning to think that I think YT people will always disappoint you, knowingly or unknowingly. They will always, even in a small way, comments like, my friend asked me in uni once, do I tan? Do I get burnt? I mean, these are all irrelevant questions that you'd ask. So although it might seem trivial to someone, it goes from 1 to 100, doesn't it? It starts with small questions like that. And then, and I think I saw a lady as well on Facebook a few years ago, Nigerian lady. Her husband said to her, your nose is so big, it's so cute, such a button nose. So I'm like, is that really a compliment?
Microaggression, for goodness sake.
So I just think that these things can spiral into arguments, and it's just, I just think black with black, they have that cultural link to each other, so they can they'll be on par in that regard, I think,
to understand each other. I think also with that, and as a part of the conversation, what I do say as well though is that also it can be, but we also have to be very aware that sometimes just because of the body that we're in doesn't mean that we do fully understand blackness, because we know there's a lot of coconuts out here that's still doing the work of white supremacy. You know, I have also seen white people that know blackness better than some black people know it, and so I'm just like, this is crazy. Is this some kind of like soul switch or something? Like what's going on? It's like, it's really messed up. But for me, and I've said this very openly, is like, I mean, I date everybody. I'm not into just saying, I don't date so and so, but for me, I would personally prefer to date a black person, just because of how the world is right now, and the fact that there is so little understanding still, even after 300,000 years of black people. So I would love to be in a relationship with another black man where we're both learning together about our blackness, what it looks like, what black love looks like, because it looks good for our people, and it encourages people as well, because when you see black love, you're just like, oh my God, that's amazing.
It really melts your heart.
Yeah, it really, really does. It really does. So, Mr. T-Man, you got some evolution to do if you want to chirp upon a woman that's my caliber, sir. You got a lot of work to do, sir.
And then he wants to know where you are as well, so you can probably fly over.
I know, that's not going to happen, man. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I think relationships, it really is a good conversation. And when I've dated, not even anyone who's not white, so black men and brown men, I've dated Sikh men before. I just love the cultural richness that you can experience when you date someone who's not white. Because when you date a white person, it's like, it's the blandest of bland. Like, I don't learn anything. I literally don't learn anything. And my mind is a sponge. I'm a sapiosexual, right? So I need to have my mind stimulated. When I'm with a white guy, he's like, oh, should we just go for a roast dinner on a Sunday?
Oh my God.
It's boring. It's boring.
Really bland.
Yeah, blandest of bland, 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 bland. Well, when I'm with a black guy, he's like, oh yeah, let's go to this like museum and see some stuff about our people. Or if I'm with a brown guy, a Sikh guy, he's like, you're telling me all about his religion and practices. I'm like, I love this. Like, I want to learn. Oh, but anything, Toby Carvery, exactly.
God, no, not Toby Carvery.
Yeah, the guy I was with a guy, a white guy for 6 years, and 6 years I was with a white guy, and we lived together, and he's lovely, but he was really lovely, by the way, I have to say, but he did love the Toby Carvery too much. Too much.
Even though you could cook much better, still, it's just ingrained.
Yeah, it's actually true. It's actually true. We're almost at 10K already, guys. Thank you so much. Let's tap to 20K. I haven't even actually set up anything.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, you can ask.
I said, why is it that some black women set their bar so high when they meet you and you're not doing it, they're not interested? They want you to have the car, house, got a good job. And not everybody could be the same in the world, you know?
Mm-hmm. Why do they ask that? Okay, because they normally have that too.
And some black women, you tell them you're a prom, but they're not interested, or they want the big, you know, they want the big life, like footballers and stuff like that. Not everybody could.
Oh, that's really rare though. Like, I don't know which women you're dating and where you're trying to date them.
No, it's
but
true.
A lot of that, yeah, but a lot of that really is
some
to
black
do.
women, if you're broke,
Should I answer your question? Let me answer your question. Let me answer your question. Yeah, exactly. Head TF says it's not really true. It sounds superficial. A lot of women just want to see how much ambition you have as a man. Okay, this is about ambition. It is how much of a go-getter are you? What are you doing in your life? Where are your goals? What are your dreams? Because I want to date someone who is equally financially stable as me or better than me. Because what I've managed to achieve in my life, I do not want to date somebody who I have to pull up because I've done it too many times. It's very bad for my self-esteem and also for the man's as well, because he's always trying to compete. Otherwise, I've spoken about this before. Oh, you can't see the prompt. Why can't you see the prompt? It's there. Can everyone not see the prompt or the top text or something like that? I'll bring it down a tiny bit, but it's literally just the conversations of things that we talk about. Yeah, exactly. Patent. Women date across and above. It's very important because, like I said, stagnancy is not attractive. Everybody should be trying to grow. I've been out with guys who are stagnant and it just doesn't do anything for me. And I've even dated someone, and I've told this story before, that when they first met me, they were like, he walked me to my car and he went, oh, your car's better than mine. Like, what the fuck? You're already putting me in a competition, and whether a man says it out loud or not, you know he's thinking that in his subconscious. And that's how it is. And Hetty said, I tried dating below and it didn't work. Yeah, it never works. Men aren't confident enough to actually be like, I'm secure in myself to have a good relationship.
Can I respond?
Yes, Umar.
Maybe you have to do with those men in Europe. I don't know Caribbean men thinking like that.
Okay.
I don't know Caribbean men thinking like that. They have a lot to do with those white European men you're dealing with. And those Caribbean black men who black as a spade don't think like that at all. We don't into that foolishness. We love providing, we love protecting our woman, but what we love respect. We don't care if you make 600,000 a month. That's your business. Because by the end of the day, we is the man. The man is still the man. You in the Caribbean, you husband could make $60,000 a month, and you could drive $900,000 a month. He is still the man of the home, and you better believe that. We don't work for those foolishness. We don't care what you make or what corporate job you have. So it have to be maybe you must be talking about those white European men who are insecure.
Yes, most definitely. And like I said, the vibration and energy, it makes people act differently. So yeah, if black men actually spent more time in their motherlands, wherever they're from, if they're from the motherland directly, or if they are from the Caribbean, that's what they need to do. And yes, Dam's good to see you again today. Says, yeah, he needs to up his game too. So, yeah, this lack of self-esteem that black Brits or black men seem to have in Britain needs to be tackled. It needs to be addressed, because even some of the black men that I've dated in the UK, like, I immediately feel, again, this competition vibe, or even oh my God. There was a time, right, where I was just completely fed up of dating men in the UK. And I felt at that point in time, like, my
you won't be
partner's
fed
not
up
here.
with me when you see me.
Okay, shush now. Be quiet. I've muted you now. So there was even a point where I was like, do you know what? I'm fed up of dating. Let me just try and find some male friends, because I didn't have any male friends. I didn't feel very confident about it, because men have never been able to just stay friends with me. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to try it. I'm going to try it. Lord of mercy, disaster as well. Disaster. And then I also went on a date with a black guy, and I thought, do you know what? First of all, if you have loads of sisters, a lot of the time it's like, okay, you understand women, you got a mother, you got sisters. Nice. I met up with him twice, went out for dinner and stuff. But then some of the stuff he started to say after, you know, when you're like listening to someone first, like, wow, and then your eyes get narrow and narrow and narrow, because you're like, this conversation is moving into directions that I don't like. So that one, I ended up stopping communicating with him, which again is sad. Like, men always find a way to reveal their true self after, especially when it comes to this friend stuff. I know you hear me, Pear Mum, right?
Yes, definitely.
You hear me?
And you're quite clued up as well. You're not very superficial. So I think you'd be able to assess and dissect and...
Yeah, the frontal lobe.
Yeah,
the
really
frontal
flesh
lobe.
it out.
Exactly. Are you dating at the moment, or are you single?
I am single at the moment.
You're single.
Loving
Okay.
me, yes. Very well, I am.
Yeah. Are you just on the independent thing, or are you dating, or where are you at?
At the moment, I have quite a lot I'm focusing on. So that's why I'm single at the moment. And I'm quite happy to be on that.
Good. Independent woman doing your thing. Exactly. And this is where I think that men, where they are, because they're feeling so lonely, they're just like, oh.
But he does come from a place of kind of a little bit of a low confidence. So maybe I think women can probably smell that from a mile away. So maybe don't sort of put yourself down that much, because even before you speak, you already present yourself as, you know, low confidence sort of person without knowing.
Exactly.
Without knowing. So.
Yeah, we're like bloodhounds out here. We can sniff that stuff out really quickly and really fast. But yeah, generally, I think it would be really nice for the world to see more black relationships, more positivity around it. I would love to see. You know, I'm a spiritual person. I don't know if you know this, the Pear Mum, but I would really. Yeah, I would really love to see like spiritual retreats full of black people together, really connecting with their ancestors, or like connecting with the lands, doing meditations, like doing each other's hair. You know, oh my nice. God, yeah, I would like it's giving me goosebumps thinking about it, like, and seeing all of our skin all glistening and shining, and the smell. Imagine how good we were all smelling.
Yeah, we need to all go to the. Is she called Hamatat or? How do you say her name? The lady that does the shea butter. The lady that does the Shea Butter Museum in Ghana.
I don't know it.
Really? Oh, you'd love
Korea.
Korea, that's it. You know, when iSpeed went to the Shea Butter Museum.
Oh, let me look that up. I missed that.
Oh, you've got to go. You'd love it.
Oh my God.
Are you dating at the moment?
Famous in Ghana.
Are you dating at the moment?
No.
Why is that?
No. Because like you, it's an independent thing right now, and I'm trusting the universe to bring me my partner when it's time. Okay. Because as I said, like I've collected enough data to know that I need to stop dating. like when you feel like you're chasing it, it's like, oh, do you know what? It's not quite time. But I'm on the Hammermax Africa website now, the Shea Butter Museum. Yeah. Wow! Oh my God!
It's when you said glistening skin, and I said, oh yeah, you'd love that.
definitely.
I would. The thing is, right, so I've tried to book so many times to go and do a big holiday in the motherland. I want to travel to as many countries as I can in the continent. And every time I go and do it, the universe bloody stops me from doing it. And I know why the universe keeps it, because I've been to like 56, 57 countries, like a lot of places I've been to. Yeah. But the only countries I've been to, you'll get there. Trust me, you will get there. But the only countries I've been to in Africa is Nigeria, of course, my home. The Gambia, Morocco, Egypt. Where else? I think that's it. It's like hardly any. It's not enough, man. It's not enough. So every time I go to book, it's like, no, it's not time yet. I'm like, stop it. It's pissing me off because I really want to go. But I know it's because, and I've said this many times now for the last few weeks or months even, that a lot of us, especially as Black British people, when we awaken and we have the knowledge, we're the ones who are supposed to bring it back to the motherland and to help other people awaken. So I know that there's a time that will happen for me, and it's not just going to be about a holiday, it's going to be about helping people. So I'm just like, but I just want to go on holiday. It's like, no, there's too much work to do.
Did you like Nigeria though?
I bloody love Nigeria. I love it. It's quite sad now though, because one of my really favourite cousins has moved, and so he's not there anymore. And he used to, of course, take me and my sisters around. And now it's like, it's just kind of my auntie and my very young cousins who are still there. So they're in Lagos, the old capital. But I used to love hanging out with him and going to the parties and just exploring and stuff. You know, I love that. Oh my God, please, dams, the Gambia is food just makes it is. I've seen it myself. It's disgusting.
Oh my God.
When you see it for yourself, it's horrific. White men, white women going after, and I've talked about this actually previously before on these lives, you will see them basically coming with their European passports, tapping up the young Black men, Black women, Black boys, Black girls. It's disgusting. And literally, me and my sisters at the time, I don't know how old we were in our 20s probably, real young, looking at them thinking, these people are sick, like, why are they doing this? And you'll see one white woman with like 3 or 4 Black young youths, like boys around her, paying for everything. These white people, you know, they got low self-esteem, man. Horrible. They got real low self-esteem.
No, I don't know. Can I say something?
Yeah. You don't need to ask permission. You can, it's very kind that you do. But
are these white women, are they big women?
No, they're just old.
Yeah, we got, we call the way they call them, you call them, I forget the name you call them, this big woman who like to deal with little boys. It's very dominant in Europe. Yeah, name for them, man. I remember. A cougar.
Yes, cougar.
Yes, a cougar. There's people who just like to feel young again sexually. That's all.
Yeah,
it's very dominant in the Caribbean. A lot of white women from Europe come and be in relationship with Caribbean men, because especially those of who have BBC, they love to be in relationship with them because they love to feel young again. And it's been going on for a very long time. When the slave
days, say something, please.
Yeah, Angry Buddha, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in the comments it says, why do you HATE YT people so much? I'm speaking for myself. I don't hate YT people. I hate YT supremacy. I hate the ideology. I hate racism. So if the cap fits, wear it.
Yeah, exactly. So these people are just absolutely nonsense. They, again, like if they think that we hate them though, why are they literally around us? This is what's really weird for me in the white mind. If you think that someone hates you, why are you in their space? If you think that we hate you, leave. Literally leave. The X button is up there. Go away.
It's when Black people join together, it's frightening them that we're probably, coming up with a plan or something. It's the fear again. Always the fear. Always.
I don't think white people think Black people hate them. Black people don't hate white people, nor they fear them. I am telling you.
Yes.
Black people don't fear nor do we hate white people, because if we fear and hate white people as we think, we wouldn't be in the country. Do you know what is it to have fear? When you have fear for something, you don't even want them to come close to you.
Yeah.
You want to be in the same room with a snake? Exactly. So
also, do you like my snake earrings today, guys? I'm wearing snake earrings. Yeah.
Yes. It's giving a Ifa vibes. You look like you're from the Yoruba tribe.
I am indeed. Yes.
I could tell because your face very dark, smooth, and give a slight longish. I could tell. There's no difference.
Thank you very much.
The Igbo women, they face more dark or wrong.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you know what? Yes. You were saying something earlier on about spirituality.
Yeah.
And I definitely relate because as someone who's always been interested in meditation, I was getting frustrated every time I went to like a meditation class or, Sangha or whatever. It was predominantly white people, which I've got no problem with, but it was just a bit of I want to see more black people getting interested in meditation and yoga and things like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's my advice to people. Check out some yoga, read some books on it, meditation, mindfulness, breathing. These are things that go back to ancient Africa, especially when I know about, the roots of African spirituality. Definitely.
I think it's because a lot of black people are Christians, are raised as Christians. So, for example, I was indoctrinated, and I was told that yoga is sort of more not. It's evil, and levitation is really not the way forward. So in my mind, I do Pilates over yoga, just because I've been told that it's not Christian.
I think that's a really good conversation we're getting into now, religion and spirituality. For guys who are in the comment section, thank you for being here. Please do tap up. Let's get to 30k likes now, guys. Also, you see up here is my gift goals. There's been 8 donuts and so far. Thank you so much. There's 2 more donuts to be sent. You see that purple bit in the middle that it's got there. If you can send gifts, much appreciated. Also to the people on the panel too, because it's always nice to receive lovely gifts of appreciation from yourself. So please make sure that you're doing that too. Also, if you don't follow me and you're enjoying the conversation so far, you can click my face up there in the corner. So click me and then click follow. Also, you can join the community, which is the orange heart next to my name. So click that and then you can send your daily Heart Me coin in there. Leanne, good to see you. Good day, my lovely. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here so far. Yes, religion and spirituality. So I've never been religious. I knew from a very... Oh, actually, do you know what? Yay! Chief, thank you so much, lucky girl. Thank you. Let me introduce actually the next 2 people who have also come to the panel, and then we'll continue on with the religious conversation. So Sister Z, how are you today? Sister Z, are you there? I've asked you to unmute. I've sent a microphone request.
My bad. Sorry, I didn't realise that I muted up. Hey, people. Hey, party people. How we doing?
We're doing good. Can I get the ethnic background of both of your biological parents, if you know them, please?
All blown Sierra Leone.
Oh, lovely, lovely. I was just talking about my DNA earlier, and I've got Sierra Leonean DNA as well, and I don't know where it's from. Yeah, but it was really, and I need to, again, connect more with that. But thank you so much. And then we've also got Kukua as well at the top. Oh, she's gone. Ku, do you want to come back? If you want to come back up to panel, you're more than welcome. So yes, and anyone who's black in the conversation, this is a black people only panel. Please do come up. African, Caribbean diaspora, as long as you identify as black and you've got 2 black parents and you're black as black, blackity, black. That's all it's about, blackness today. Yes, religion and spirituality. From a very young age, I had this inherent feeling that religion was wrong. Even from 5, when, did you guys used to have the same thing in your schools where they would read like the Bible out in assembly and things like that? Did you guys have that?
Not in my school, no.
You didn't have that?
Not really, no.
You didn't have that? Yeah, my school. You did. Yeah, we used to sing that too. Yeah, so I used to...
Was it a church?
No, it wasn't a church school at all. But they used to, they used to do it, and it used to piss me off at 5. And it was a white school, all white school, non-religious. It wasn't a Church of England school at all. It was just a regular public school. It was a combined school. So I went from the same school from 5 to 12, and it used to piss me off because I used to see the Jehovah's Witnesses get to leave assembly, and I'd be like, I want to go with them. Let me go with them. I don't want to sit here and bow my head and stuff. So I knew it back then. It pissed me off. Then when we got into secondary school, it was not, I think maybe was it a religious school? I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, in the year 8 assembly, they put, no, year 7? Year 8. They put Bibles on every single one of our chairs. So it's like, okay, you want us to have a Bible. You know what I did? I've told this story many times. I took that Bible, I put it on the floor. By the way, this is very blasphemous for everyone who's really religious, so just a warning for you. Put it on the floor. I stuck 2 fingers at the sky and I went, I'm swearing on the Bible. I'm swearing on the Bible. That's how I was as a child. And then I was spiritually awakened 2 years ago. So all of the stuff in my journey has literally kept me from man-made religion. And I used to be okay going into churches and things like that, right? I used to be all right, like my family is religious, and I would respect the space. But it was getting to a point where I felt so uncomfortable that I had to leave. Like my uncle used to live in Singapore, and there was one there. I said, this is making me very upset, and I actually started crying and I left, and I had to sit outside waiting for everybody to join. And then, the spiritual stuff that started happening to me basically revealed to me a God that had already been around me the whole time, but had allowed me freedom to discover myself and to discover my energy and my connection to the land. So that's where I was at. But Pear Mum, do you want to say a little bit about what your experiences were with religion?
So I've always been Christian. In my primary school, it was just a normal community school. And then I did go to private school, secondary school for 2 years, but that also wasn't a church school. But I did go to a church, just a grant maintained school before I went to the private school, and that was reciting Hail Mary, going to the cathedral every so often. So I've always been a Christian, but I find it so odd that they kind of imposed it on you, even though it wasn't a church school, which is really odd. Was it a private school or?
No. Completely public school. And the area it was in, it was not even like a decent area. Where I lived, no, it was outside of London, but it was kind of, the town I grew up in was not really affluent, and especially where my school was not affluent at all. Like, I pretty much grew up in a council estate, and where my school was literally just like across the way. We had to walk across the bridge. It wasn't a cult. No, it wasn't a cult. It wasn't a cult. But it was weird. It was really weird, and just having to, we did all the kumbaya stuff and prayers, and it just used to make me feel so uncomfortable.
People are saying in the comments that it was probably a cult.
That's what she said. Do you know what? Let me tell you a quick story about the head teacher, because it was mainly the head teacher, right, that was reading it. He was an old, decrepit, stupid white man, this guy, right? He was so intimidated by me, like some of you guys have heard this story before, is that my dad studied in France, right? He studied in Paris, so he had a lot of books, right? Okay, Water Goddess, I hope you feel better soon. Sorry to hear that you're not feeling too well, my lovely. I hope you feel better soon. So my dad would have a lot of books from when he studied in Paris, and I would just read them and be like, oh yeah, cool, this is so cool, this is so cool. And so I would read the books, and then one day this head teacher, he was teaching my class, and then he said, he was trying to test us. I don't know, we were probably like 6 or 7 at the time, like really young, and he was not expecting anyone to know the answer to this. He said, does anyone know what 100 is in French? And because I'd read it, and not knowing the pronunciation, I said cent, right? Because if you guys know, it's pronounced cent, right? So I said, me, it's cent. This bitch, he was intimidated by me. He went, that's wrong, actually. That's old man. So I was like 6 or 7.
That is crazy.
And then he just, then he turned around and went, it's cent, actually. And I'm like, bitch, you are so afraid of me as a baby.
Anything to instill fear and to hamper your confidence.
Yeah.
Like my brother was told he couldn't play the trumpet because I remember the teacher said because of the way his lips are shaped. He said because of the way your lips are shaped, I think it might be difficult for you to play the trumpet. So my dad just had to storm there in uproar and said he's been playing it fine before you made that comment. So I think you need to reflect. Yeah. So just comment on that. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Can I respond?
Yep, that was a white man as well.
Goodness me.
Can I respond, ma'am?
Yeah.
I have a question I want to ask, because if we're gonna deal with the reality of our ancestors, we before European colonization, and this is still present in Africa till to this day, there are over 3,000 ethnic groups in Africa whose language, culture, religion, and worldview is completely different from each other, which means that they have nothing in common except skin color, and from the same geographical location. Now, slavery was very dominant in Africa, especially Central and Western Africa and up the northern coast. So whenever a tribe invade another tribe, especially if that tribe is limited, if it's a smaller tribe than the other tribe, when they conquer that tribe, they used to take the rest of tribes them as slave, and they will become a part of them.
Yeah.
Now, most time what that tribe used to do, they used to strip those other tribe of the culture and way of life and impose their religious view onto them.
Yeah.
Would you say that's acceptable?
No.
Because they are Africans?
No.
Because that is what the Fawn the Yoruba people did to the Fawn people of Dahomey. So I want to know if this is limited to white people or is it include everybody?
No. I think it does include everybody, but you would have to ask the people really themselves if they actually feel like they've lost something, right? Because, I mean, it's easy for me to say, of course, as somebody who is like in a white British society, and not anymore because I left it 4 years ago, that I'm so far away from myself. That is really something that is very different. It's a completely different culture. So you would have to ask them directly, I think, about that. Have you had that conversation with people who have been affected?
Being affected by what?
By what you're talking about.
Be affected by imposed religion?
Yeah.
No, because I keep hearing people mentioning, especially my fellow black brethren, keep mentioning imposed religion. What is it that the white man imposed upon you?
Everything. I don't know where you're going with this, Umar, by the way. I don't know where you're going with this.
I want you to keep your mind open. You're a very intelligent woman.
Yeah, but I don't like this. I already don't like it, but I'm going to go into the conversation. But I already don't like it. I already don't like it because at least even if there's skin folk, there's still kinfolk. And all of our things were very small. There were small skirmishes and small battles, right? And this was part of our culture. This is something that we accepted because it was between tribe. That's humanity. That's humanity. That's literally how humanity was functioning, not just in the motherland, but in other continents as well, right? That was normal. What was abnormal for the Europeans is chattel slavery, was removing people from their ancestral land, was then imposing completely different languages, cutting their hair off, cutting their arms off, cutting their legs off, cutting their private parts off with men. That is what is abnormal. That is not what white people saw in us. They didn't see us as human anymore. Did black people do that? Did any black people do that?
Could I just add to that, please? Umar, could I just add to that, please? Thank you. Yeah. So what the host just said is right. Also, you need to remember that they gave us like a different form of Christianity. Because I know there is some truth that Africans found Christianity themselves in Africa. Yeah, fair enough. But the Africa that was presented to us was different, right? It was different. And one of the examples is, along with the narrative that Jesus was the Son of God, they then made images of Jesus, along with the racism. So they told us that we're white and we're more superior than you. Then they showed us a picture of the Son of God who was white. Do you not see how that could brainwash people?
Yeah, brown haired, blonde, blue eyed Jesus.
I agree with what you said.
I'm just going to bring in. I'm going to bring in Sister Z as well because Sister Z hasn't had an opportunity to speak as well. So I'm going to make sure that she has some room. Sister Z, what would you like to to add.
Hey, sorry. I just wanted to contribute to the imposed religion points, right? I think what we need to understand as a collective, and I say this for lack of better phrasing right now, we were victims in the whole diaspora situation and all of that stuff. We understand this, we know this. I think what we need to understand is the level of delusion that was imposed on us with these religions. Now, I'm a believer in the Bible. I'm a hold my hands up and just call a spade a spade. You get what I'm saying? But the context that I believe the Bible in isn't a religious context. It's a historical context. And I think what's happened, the misunderstanding when it comes to, I would say, I wouldn't even say Christianity, because Christianity is a modern day religion. I don't believe in Christianity, because when you examine Christianity and the scriptures, it's a massive contradiction. Hence why there's so much confusion with the religion now. When you read the scriptures in a historical context, it tells you things that are yet to come, things that are yet to happen. So when I'm reading certain things like, okay, there's going to be a false image that's going to be pushed upon us, and I'm seeing how hell-bent people are, diehard Christians for the white image of Jesus. When you read historical context, you know that he comes from a specific demographic of people. When he was told to move to Egypt or flee into Egypt is because he would blend in with the people of Egypt. That's why they said flee. He would have stood out like a sore thumb if he was white.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So with the delusion of religion comes a lack of common sense. Do you get what I'm saying? And the lack of common sense is what has got our people in a chokehold.
Yeah.
So
but this is... Yeah, go on. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, so like when it comes... Because so for me personally, I've had the experience of living in a Muslim household. I grew up, my first 15 years of my life, I grew up as a Muslim. I was the first person to convert in my family to Christianity. And then I went into learning Black history and stuff. You get what I'm saying? So, damn, I kind of say all of that to say, like, it's hard for us to, as a collective, come outside of the delusion and then try to tell our people, because they've been taught over generations that this is the way of life. They've been taught what you're seeing from your people is wrong, going back to the whole colonization, the whole slavery thing that we've gone through. Hopefully I'm making sense. I'm not good at like public talking.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think the whole conversation about Christianity, and it, for me, when I look at religion or I look at specifically Christianity, when someone says that they're there and I say, oh, well, which book do you read from? Because as we know, there are many different versions of the Bible and there are different chapters as well. So it's like, what part are you also resonating with? For me, like, I want to hear more Black people talking about the Ethiopian Bible, because that's where it came from, right? And I think a lot of people, and this is the thing that used to personally upset me, is that when I used to speak to my auntie, and I still do, of course, but before I was spiritually awakened, she was very much about pushing Christianity onto me. Like, she was on it, on every single conversation. Have you got your Bible? How are you doing this? I'm like, auntie, I've been telling you since I was a baby that I'm not doing this. So why are you still pushing it? But since I've become a spiritually awakened, she stopped it. And I used to always try to challenge her, because I say, well, which version of the Bible are you reading? King James Bible. And I'm like, oh, okay, the actual Bible from the colonizer, the actual one that, of course, if you...
Okay, wait, can I pause you right there? Let me pause you right there. And this is another thing. Because when it comes to the teachings of like the history of the transcripts, the Bible, the translations and things like that, a lot of people do not understand what had happened. A lot of people do not understand that King James was actually a Black man. I believe, if I'm not wrong, I believe he was the King of Scotland at some point. I can't remember off the top of my head, because this is research that I done from years back. Do you get what I'm saying? My head is full up of music and uni and shit. I'm not good at multitasking. I'm gonna keep it a beam. Do you get what I'm saying? But there's I just want to say, because I don't have all of the points to combat all of the points that you would throw at me. I don't know what you know at the end of the day. So what I would say is just consider some of the things that we have been taught about things relating to us historically. has been distorted for the sake of us continuing to be disconnected. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so you'd have to explain a little bit more to me, because it's the first Bible that was translated into English. So black people were the first English speakers?
We weren't, I'm not going to say that we were the first English speakers. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, I remember I think there was a council, I believe, of like 63 scholars. There was the translation from Hebrew to, I believe, Greek, Latin, and another language. Like I said, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to go read through my archive, read through my books and notes, and I will get back to you on this topic. But I'm not, do you know what? I'm very self-aware. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want to say anything that's wrong and then get bombarded with whatever and then turn around and, oh yeah, no, do you know what, you lot are right. I would rather come with the understanding that I have, so that
you know what you know. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then we can probably dialogue. So I'm just going to throw out the points that I've learned over the years here and there. You lot can continue on with the conversation or whatever, but yeah, great space though. I'm loving this. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Like, I'm enjoying this conversation. I always do. Every time when I have a black panel, it's always full of peace and love. We talk about all different kinds of things. I think this is the first time we've had like a real religious conversation, because I'm more,
Sorry, can I respond to Mazzy's comment? He or she said, sister, please stop trying to sell Christianity to us. We are not buying it.
I'm not believing you're selling it.
Listen,
I believe you're not selling it.
I'm not selling it. I promise you, I'm not selling it. It's not my position to sell Christianity. I am not a pastor. At the end of the day, I'm just sharing my experience. Like I said, my first 15 years was, I lived as a Muslim. I could elaborate on that. Do you get what I'm saying? I could elaborate on the teachings and why I left that. Do you get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, no one gave us a manual to navigate life. We are literally going by the influences that we see on a daily basis, what we hear, what we see, what we learn, what we read, or whatever the case is. So forgive me if I've not reached your level of spirituality or navigation. I'm just a 33-year-old woman in South London trying to navigate my damn way and stay alive. Yeah?
Yeah.
Have mercy. Have grace.
Thank you for that. Like I said, I know that you're not trying to sell it or anything like that, and I'm really appreciating the dialogue, because it's making me think, okay, let me now go and look that up. If King James was back then, of course that would really change my perspective on a lot of things.
Exactly.
So I appreciate the knowledge. I'm also going to just now introduce the next two people who also joined the panel. So Mike on the panel, how are you today? Mike, I've sent a microphone invitation.
Thank you.
Yes, Mike, are you okay?
Grand rising, everyone.
Yes. Could you tell me the ethnic background of your biological mother and father, if you know them, please?
Afrocentric, I'd say.
I need to know countries, please. If you know the countries.
I'm in Jamaica.
Jamaica.
They're both wood and water.
Okay, thank you very much. Both Jamaican. Also, we've got Joe Best as well at the top, please. Joe, how are you? Thank you. Joe, I've asked you to unmute. Joe, are you there? Yes. Can I get the ethnic background from your mother and father, if you know them, please?
Yeah.
Joe? Yeah.
Both of my parents are Ashantis.
Ashanti, lovely, beautiful. Thank you so much. I've got someone else who wants to come to panel now as well. They're on. Oh no, I don't like your username already. I think you're probably white. Are you white trying to infiltrate the space? You had your camera on just then. Did we just see a white person? Online fellowship, you've called yourself. What's the ethnic background of your parents, please?
Thank you for accepting my request. My parents are both African origin.
Which bit?
I'm in Zimbabwe. And my parents come from, my mother's side is South African and Zambian. And my father's side is Cape Colored and Zimbabwean. So I'm like a mixture of African background, deep African.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so yes, the conversation is, of course, currently now about religion or anything that we want to discuss. So, Mike, I want to bring you, of course, into the conversation. Mike, what would you like to add today? Is there anything that you've heard so far that you want to elaborate on, or anything that's on your mind in terms of blackness? What would you like to add, my friend? Mike from Jamaica. Brother, speak. Mike, you're quiet now, son. Michael.
Well, as black people, we need to leave this Bible thing alone.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to. I'm here. I'm speaking. You not hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Can you hear me now? Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Well, my perspective is that as black people, we need to move past this Bible thing. I was a little bit drawn back when you said King James was black. I probably have to go do some more research to look at that. I'm in that timeline when they did the whole conversion of the Bible to put it into the actual scripts that it is and take out what they wanted to take out and throw away what they wanted to throw away. This particular king was the king at the time. His name was affixed to it because he was the king. I'm not seeing whatever, background he was or King James was in the timeline. All I know is that most of what we call the Bible today was whitewashed. A particular set of people wrote themselves into this book because this book spoke about one specific type of people. And, going through that book, they quickly realized that this book had nothing to do with them. So today that book now has they have also written themselves into this book and changed a whole bunch of stuff out of it, left out a whole set of books. And people keep questioning whether or not we should, set this book aside. It has fantastic stories inside of them, but some of the stories that are in this particular book they're stories that predates the Bible. And as far as I'm concerned, the Bible seemingly copies some of those stories and present them today. As black people, why I said initially that we should, read the book and set it aside is because the book itself was also used as a weapon to colonize.
Yeah. See, this is where my mind will be like, well, when did that happen then? Because if King James was black, when did the colonization shift? Like, we know that it was colonized, but for me, in my understanding, is like I say, from the Ethiopian Bible, then it was taken by the colonizer, and then King James translated it into English to be able to then push a new Christianity upon my people. So that's my story that I have in my head, and that's what I've always believed for a very long time. Because otherwise, like, what is the alternative now? Like, how would it work, and when did it work? When did that happen? Yeah, Catalia said the same thing. That's what I thought. So yeah, now we've got a bunch of like confused minds. Like, yeah, that's why I'm kind of trying to understand.
And these are all my perceptions. All right, I'm not here to try to convince anyone or get anyone to believe.
Yeah, it's just discussions. We're just having conversation.
Yeah,
We're just
but I grew up with logics. And I started to ask questions at a very young age. I grew up in a Christian home. My parents went to church and all that stuff. And I started to push back. I started to ask logical questions. I started to ask questions like, why do I have to go to church and sit before a guy who is reading from something that I can read and have my own interpretation from?
Yeah.
So I started to challenge stuff. And then I quickly, in high school, I started to develop a concept that I don't have beliefs. I didn't want to have beliefs because I think beliefs were half of the story. I've always said I prefer to know than have beliefs.
Yeah.
And if I don't know, then it means I'm pursuing the knowledge to become informed. So I've always said, I could believe that Fox, what you have on today is pure white. What you have on is, I believe what you have on is pure white because I've never seen you before. And everyone on your panel could be convincing me that, hey, what you have on right now is all white. And because I've never seen you or pursue you to find out the information for myself, I would have to have a belief. And then they're going to tell me that I have to
explain your point when you mean that? I'm not quite sure what you mean by are you making an example?
Right, so I'm trying to get you to understand and this is my perception again. I'm trying to get you to understand what belief and knowledge means. Either
but why would you use me as
I know.
Are you trying
I'm just
to say
using you
that
as an example.
Okay, are you trying to say but you're saying that I'm pure white. It's just it's just the example is throwing me off a little bit.
All right, let me clear it up for you quickly. So like somebody else can come up and explain. I'm saying what the color you have on right now is blue. I'm seeing blue.
The color,
what it looks like to me, it's blue. And the color, blue and gold. It looks like blue and gold to me from my perspective, when I'm looking at it.
Yes.
If I've never seen you before, then if I've never seen, if I wasn't able to see you right now live, you had something else different up. And I was the only person that couldn't see you with my own eyes. Then I would have to have a belief system that everyone else here on the panel would be telling me that you're actually sitting right before me and you're in white. I would have to have a belief system to believe what they're telling me is true. And because I can't see, and because I'm not pursuing you to find out whether or not you're in that particular color that you're in, I would have to just go on with my entire life to have a belief.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I'd rather know what color you're in, or I'm pursuing to have that understanding as to what color you're actually sitting in. And that's the kind of colonized system they put on us, to have beliefs. We don't know, so we have to believe. And then you believe, and then you have to have faith. And I'm saying no, but that's exactly where you colonize our minds, because if we started to pursue the information, started to do the research, we would then find out that most of what they have us believing are all lies. They're all lies. They're not necessarily
I feel like
true.
It's
and
so
because
interesting,
we have a set
though.
of people who just go to church and sit down and have somebody.
This is the problem when we get to these kind
bunch of people who have just been colonized to sit down and have somebody preaching to us.
Yeah. When we get to these kind of conversations, I'm just going to mute you for a minute because I think there is a delay on your microphone. But when we have these kind of conversations, this is when we can go down, and then it becomes a bit confusing and complicated, because then we start talking about philosophy, right? It is difference between belief, faith, and truth. And all of those things are different for every single person on the planet. Like, everybody does not have the same idea about what something is. Like I said, like, I'm spiritual now, someone else in this space is religious, somebody else doesn't believe in something. And, you know, the whole problem is that when we try to convince each other of a reality that just doesn't fit, then that's when we lose things, and that's where we can lose humanity. If people are not controlled of their ego, thank you, Ella, thank you so much. If people are not controlled of their ego, that's when they start to get frustrated and trying to force belief, faith, and truth onto other people. Also, 50k, guys, can we try and get the taps to 50k? We really need that. We've got 92 people in the room. Also, you can share this live as well, so thank you to those who have shared so far. In the bottom right hand corner, you see there's an arrow there. If you click that and then you click repost, that sends that out to people to come to listen to this conversation, because this is a great conversation we're having today. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you so much for the gift goals as well. So you see there's the gift goals as well up in the middle. Have they all been achieved? I think, have they? Yeah, but then also the it's called a Bangalang or something like that. So I'm going to pin it for a minute. So if I could get 2 more of those, then that would be really super fantastic. But again, if you're not following me, click my head up there in the top picture. There is a lovely picture of Professor Dr. Jason Arday, of course, who we tragically lost. I can't believe this week has gone by so fast. Last weekend. So please click that, and then you can click follow. And then you can also click the orange heart as well and send 1 coin through there to be part of the community. But I'm going to get also Joe Best now in the conversation, please. Did you just speak? No, Joe Best. What would you like to add? Of course, we're talking about religion right now and spirituality, but what would you like to add? Do you want to add something on this front or something else? Joe? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, my sister. Let me go back to my accent as an African, as an Ashanti. No black man is religious. Religion is not part of our DNA. We're not born religious. It was created.
Yes,
the Bible and the Quran, colonization. The Arabs enslaved the African for 1,300 years. And the Europeans came back for 400 years. These guys created religion just to tame us. They're not religious. So if a black man here in religious, be ashamed of yourself.
Your microphone is a bit muffled, my friend. Have you got a phone cover on or something? There's something that's over your microphone. It's a bit of a struggle to hear you.
Yeah, are you okay now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we should not fall for be deceived with this religion thing. It's a scam. We are spiritual.
Yes.
We reincarnate. We build everything. The inventions that Greece came about, all of that were learned from Africa before it was brought back to us. We built Greece. We ruled Europe. Black kings ruled in India. We need not to forget ourselves. So we need to stand up. We are not religious. No religion. Every religion is not part of our DNA. We need to build it out from ourselves, from our homes. We need to teach our children. What?
Yeah, Black Prince says we have Ifa, Rastafari, Voodoo, Santeria. Why we're using foreign spiritual systems. And like I said with my story, I feel like I've been really protected from these things, especially because my dad actually grew up, he's Nigerian, right? And he grew up learning the Quran, also the Bible as well. He speaks Arabic. He also, of course, speaks English, and he's been to churches. My mother was Anglican, and then also Church of England. Like I said, with my auntie, she was very, very religious. On my dad's side, again, the Nigerian side, my nan who's Grenadian in the UK, also very religious. But with me, all of the time, I was like, no. I know there is something more than that. I know it's something deeper than that, not what is written on the page by man. And I think also because I have this inherent thing about knowing how non-powerful man is. And that everything that man has is because they've kind of stolen it or taken from someone else, right? And the God that I know provided enough for everybody to share. So for me, when I'm talking about spirituality and what I believe is that abundance is for everybody. Why is there some things called like hierarchies written in the Bible? Like, why is there other things like, why is a brother killing another brother? And, all this, like, why are you villainizing women in these books as well? You just want to keep these different people oppressed. So for me, I'm just like, all of it. No. And yeah, the 10 Commandments in the Bible, why are you teaching people how to be human? Thou shalt not steal. You shouldn't have to teach people that. But this is why I believe the Bible we have now is specifically for white people, because they needed to have this book to keep them, or not to keep them, so to make them human, because they were not human. We didn't need that. We didn't need to say, don't do this, don't do that. We literally did not need it. But they need this book because they're so fucking far gone, and they were given a task by God to adapt and integrate into humanity, but they were never able to do it. And that's why they held on to this, and they knew that we had the power. So that's why they had to now gaslight and manipulate us and change us in a way that made us more European and more white. That's where I'm at with this thing. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, I'd like to hear from Sister Z as well, please. Yeah, Sister Z, what would you like to add?
I have a question for the panel, and I want to make it abundantly clear before I ask this question. Firstly, I am for the people. I love my people. Everything that I do is about my people and for my people. Yeah?
Yeah.
I love my people down. I am a solution-based type of person, though. It's all well and good having these conversations, but what are we going to do going forward to better our community? Yeah. So with that being said, I've already expressed that I believe in the scriptures, right? I believe in the teachings of the Bible, like you lot were saying, like what you had just said about why do you have to tell people not to steal. It's the same reason why you have to tell someone not to sleep with someone else's wife, because if left to their own devices, they will do it. So no, don't do that. It's not okay to do. Sometimes we do need them simple instructions, and even with them simple instructions, we are still incapable of keeping them. Do you get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I already understand the flaws. I understand you guys' viewpoints when it comes to the scriptures, religion, etc., etc. My question now is, if we are to detach from that and turn back to spirituality or African spirituality, Fox, you had made the point before, I think it was you or someone on the panel had made the point before that we should stray away from the Bible because it was used as a weapon towards us, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how in tune you are with the depths of African spirituality, but the same way that it's used for good, it's been used for evil as well. I've had family members very close to me, even my late brothers, my twin late brothers, they've fallen victim to this kind of quote unquote voodoo or witchcraft, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So what do we then turn back to? If there's good and evil in every aspect of belief or whatever the case is, what do we turn to as a people, as a collective? What is it that works for us?
Yeah. So for me, I'm not in terms of my spirituality. It's mainly
that's a question
self.
to everyone. I would like an answer from everyone on the panel as well, if possible.
Cool. Yeah, we'll go one at a time. Thank you. So for me, I'm not connected to things like the voodoo and Santeria, all those extra practices. I'm not. When I was spiritually awakened, it was all information given to me and connecting to myself and what I believe to be true. That's how it was. Like, I've never gone and sought out ever external things again. I've not done that. And like I say, I do things what becomes natural to me. So cleansing my energy and cleansing my space, I will use like lavender incense, things that came from the ground, things that came naturally. If I feel like there's negativity around me, that's how I do it. And most of it is just closing my eyes, man, and listening. I just listen to what I hear, right? And if it connects with here, then I say that feels right. It's more about my intuition. That's where I'm at. And this is the thing, especially for women, is that we have this inherent knowing anyway. We are the ones that always can see the danger before it happens, right? We're always like, don't do that, because that's going to end in disaster, because men don't have that. So when we connect more of our feminine energy, that's where a lot of our spirituality actually comes from, which is our energy that lives outside of ourselves. So that's where my spirituality comes from. It comes from my inherent knowing. It comes from my intuition. Angry Buddha, have you got sort of any ideas or thoughts that you want to say about
Billy Mokjara, get the fuck on. You frumpy piece of stuff. Move, cha. Sorry, that has annoyed me. The hell?
What happened?
The comment from what's his face? I can't even remember the he looked like some boiled middle-aged something. I don't know.
Was it in the comments section?
Yeah, talking some shit. Shut up.
They've been muted. They were muted so fast. Thank you so much, Cass. I didn't even see. You see here, this is a safe space. We really do try to protect the conversation. Aww. So that's why we've been able to discuss things so quickly and
I hear that. Sorry, I like smoke at the same time though. I'm sorry.
Girl, we all do. We all do like to fight these people sometimes. Yeah, that was so fast. Cass was on it. She was on it. Yeah. So we've obviously got a white person who's literally just infiltrated the space because they feel very, very lonely. My YouTuber. Yeah, my YouTuber, you're obsessed. I'm pretty sure you've been here like 10 times. My YouTuber, you always try to come to panel. You always try to do something nonsense because you're very lonely. Why don't you go to spaces full of white people?
This is what I don't understand about them.
Because they're bored. The white spaces are boring. That's why they got to come here.
Yeah, he's now salt. They lack salt. They lack flavor. They talk about the same nonsense. Us. They talk about us and they're tired of it. It makes my teeth so white. You cannot leave us alone. Did you not see? I'm sorry to go off on a tangent. Did you not see the Leicester Carnival
Oh,
brother, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Angry Buddha, have you seen the Leicester Carnival? It is the most unseasoned, black.
It's been heinous.
It's disgusting. It's horrible. It makes me feel depressed when I watch the clips.
I'm sorry, but I saw that as a slap in the face personally, especially in this day and age, in this country, with this whole reform shit, them trying to get immigrants out of the country, and you have the audacity, the caucasity to go and be celebrating other people's God. If you don't go and sit down somewhere, stupid people.
Yeah, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. But let's bring the conversation back. Yeah, if you answer the question, Angry Buddha. Yeah. Oh,
Right,
also,
so-
sorry. Let me introduce Zodi, because Zodi is also new on the panel. So Zodi, can we get the ethnic background of your biological parents, if you know them, please? And I'll come to you. We'll ask you a question after.
I'm Nigerian. I'm pure Nigerian.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Zodi. We will come to you. Okay, Angry Buddha, what would you like to add, please?
Yeah. So I was also raised as a Christian, and I kind of left Christianity because I am a spiritual person, and it wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I realized why, because Christianity, it gives it stories, it tells you, to be good and the 10 Commandments and all that, but it didn't go into practice enough. And so when the question was like, what do we fall back on? Well, we fall back on us. We fall back on ourselves, like consciousness, right? We are literally experiencing this universe through consciousness. Therefore, the closest you can get to God is to be pure consciousness. And that's why these ancient teachings were teaching us. So if you go back to Africa, they teach you about trance, how to get into a trance, meditation, breathing, how moving your body, dancing. And that's why in yoga, in the Indus Valley, the Indians were writing about consciousness. They didn't invent that. That was basically been done before in Africa. And what I find interesting is that while they were writing the books that make up the Bible, in the Indus Valley, and before that, humans were discussing consciousness and enlightenment. And that's why I get frustrated with the Bible. But there is one thing that Jesus said in the Bible that I think is very interesting, because obviously everyone knows that Jesus was born and then he kind of disappeared, didn't he, for a while, and came back as an adult. And a lot of people say that he went away to learn, study meditation. So when he comes back, he says things like, if thy eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. So single eye, that's focus. Yeah, focus. Some people call it the third eye. Pure consciousness. So it's almost as if, and I'm trying to say this respectfully, it's like the people that wrote the Bible were inspired by spiritual people, but they were not relaying the spiritual information correctly.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I believe it is the colonizer's book, because like I say, they haven't been able to connect to the land, to the actual spirituality of self, so they needed to have this book to find a way to do it, because again, they were looking at black people at that time, like, how are you, black melanated people, let me say, actually, because how are we so connected? How do we know all these things? But they couldn't do it. Also, I want to bring up, I did bring this up in the last live, actually, and this is so interesting. I give recommendations of TikTok accounts to follow or events that you should attend, and I recommend, and the funny thing is we never even mentioned religion in the last live, but there is a TikTok account and actually group of black women called Secular Sisters, CIC. So if anybody's curious and they are religious or thinking about leaving religion, or they're atheist, basically they're a group of black women who have actually, like I say, they've left religion or they're in the process of leaving, and it is them discussing things, and mainly it's actually to do with the social life. So let me show this really quickly, because if I show it more, then it starts to restrict the live. But you can look it up, Secular Sisters. Let me show you this real quick, people. So again, this is just a recommendation, because I'm not forcing. Everything here is discussion. So, but if anything resonated, you can check out Secular Sisters CIC, and they do like really cool events for anyone who is on that path and wants to, tap more into spirituality. But it's mainly more of a social thing. But yeah, same question to online fellowship, because we haven't heard of online fellowship yet. And of course, you have a cross in your name. And, I had my skepticism about what you might add. But online fellowship, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yes.
I thank you so much for your live and the content it's bringing. It's very good for my spiritual journey as well. I grew up in a very religious setup, and with mixed religious thinkings and spiritual thinkings across different churches. And because my background is too diverse, it's different countries with different tribes, different cultures, it gave me a wokeness in terms of where I feel I want to align or my spiritual journey. So I started being very cultured. I learned the cultures, a certain culture from my father's sides and my mother's sides, and I brought all those up to create who I think I'm becoming. And in so doing, I think you see the name there. I then went and studied theological studies to become a pastor as well. And I was not like, I didn't have a Christian or church background to define my path in these theological studies. So it made me more open, and actually it made me open to questions. I believe the truth should be put on a scale of questions to verify it, to strengthen it. Once you find anything that is said to be honest and truthful, fearing questions, that is the first wrong thing about it. So using that basis, I've been able to question the culture, and I've also questioned what we call the Christianity. With myself, I've come to realize that we say Christianity is a religion, but I would like to think of Christianity as a movement. The reason being, Jesus Christ himself is not a Christian. It was by him, through him, for him, that they termed this fellowship or fellowship Christianity.
Okay.
So it is a movement. That is what I've come to learn and realize by myself. To say, okay, that is where maybe we are having so many challenges, because once it's a movement, now we have to question it along that path, and also whether it's every religion, whether it's spirituality. I believe it's a religion as well, because there is spiritualism in theology. Once you say the Holy Spirit in the Bible, we have mentioned a spirit. Now that brings us back to say, okay, there is a form of spiritualism in it. So we cannot cut it away from spiritualism. It's got to align and differ where it differs. So we have to find where it differs as a Black people. I have also, I'm trying to summarize everything in a short space, so maybe I can have lots of questions or maybe more answers on this. I've also gone through many countries in Africa, trying to identify where the heathenness in our Blackness comes from.
I'm just gonna interrupt you just for a minute there, because also yes. I'm not anti-Black as well. So I don't believe in thinking that there's negative parts of self. I'm very much about positivity, and yes, we have personal challenges. Yes. But what my interest really in these kind of religious conversations is that, if I can ask what you believe Jesus is, or who Jesus is, because the reason why I ask this is because I've had some experience with a Jesus figure. Like I said, I'm spiritual, I'm not religious, and I've seen a version of this person I believed to be Jesus, but this person, this being, let me say, this energy showed me what life maybe I'll explain it during this. I don't know if I've told this story before. I think I have, about when I did this. It was a trip that I had. So I took something that enabled me to see more than I could see with just my eyes. Okay. And I ended up seeing God and Jesus in this. And I also experienced some things beforehand when I was just like in my room in my bed and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy, whatever's happening. But for you, can you tell me what you believe Jesus was or is, or how you identify with Jesus and why you follow this person or being or whatever you like to identify them, how you ever like to identify them?
Okay. It is my belief that Jesus is black. That is what I believe. And I've researched through the Bible as well, in the Book of Solomon, where it says, I am black, specifically straightforward, and every other thing we've been taught is simple theological politics. It's being twisted to align with certain agendas of certain peoples, and I won't go into that. So Jesus is black. Jesus has been black and was recycled to become lighter for a reason. Otherwise, it is my belief that we should not shy away from the Bible, but we should recycle it once again to bring out the original truths and maybe take a litmus test on it with other books that have been availed. So far, I've read the Bible. I have read. I'm still in the channel of reading the Book of Mormon, and between the two, I'm realizing that Jesus, he died and he went to heaven in the Bible. Yeah. The same Jesus left the heavens, died in the Bible, and went to the Book of Mormon, where he is said to have gone down there. After he had been through the Bible. So it's like a bit confusing.
I have another question for you. Sorry to interrupt, but I also have ADHD, so sometimes I'm like, oh, and I'm also really interested in this conversation. Forever Me has made a really good point in the comment section. It says Jesus may have been real, but his name wasn't Jesus and his story was colonized. So when you say that he was a black man, what was his name to you? What is his name to you?
Yahweh.
Yahweh, Yes. So that's how you identify.
When I researched why we have the English names in the Bible and the name Jesus, I found out that they were saying it was so as to align our believers with names that align with them so that they have better understanding of the Bible. It did make sense to me, but unfortunately, when it was now being trafficked back to Africa or to other places, no one explained that. To say, okay, if you are from maybe Nigeria, you can call Jesus Igwe. And that brings us back to saying, okay, so the religious figures we have as Africans, there is no problem with them. It's what we call our God. It's what we call God. Because all through, the one thing that all nations, all tribes, all ethnicities agree on is that there is a supreme being. We all believe in a supreme being, whether it's theologically, spiritually, or otherwise, we all believe there is a supreme being.
Okay, so in the comment section, some of this conversation is beyond me, okay? Like I said, I'm not a religious person, I'm spiritual, but in the comment section, you have been corrected right now. So when I asked you what you said, who Jesus is, you said Yahweh, but Yahweh is the name for God, and there's 16 names that God was referred to, so I can repeat some of them, okay, guys? So you have Elohim, which is creator God, Yahweh, Lord Jehovah, El Elyon, Most High God, Adonai, Lord Master, El Shaddai, Lord God Almighty, El Olam, the Eternal God, Jehovah Jireh, the Lord will provide, Jehovah Rapha, the Lord that heals, Jehovah Nisi, the Lord my banner, Kana, jealous God, Jehovah Mekodeskem, the Lord who sanctifies, Jehovah Shalom, the Lord is peace, Jehovah Sabbath, the Lord of hosts, Jehovah Ra, the Lord my shepherd, Jehovah Sindenku, Lord or righteousness, Jehovah Shammah, the Lord is there. And yeah, Isis and Jesus, someone else said it was Isa.
Sorry, sis. Are there the list that you just read? Were they names or titles?
I've just I don't know. I'm just doing a quick Google, and it says loads. There's some names that I am familiar with, but this is what I'm getting is like the 16 names that God was referred to. Yeah. Yeah, so Isa, is in the Quran, and then also is Isa in the Bible as well? There's some names that are in both books. Thank you, Africa Debunk.
Isa is just a translation for the name Jesus in Arabic. Isa, that's how you say the name in Arabic. That's all it is.
Yeah. So Isa is Jesus. Yeah, and Esra in the Bible, Isa is Jesus. Yeah. So online fellowship. If you're identifying
Esau
with
in
Jesus,
the Bible is different. Esau, E-S-A-U, Esau is different, completely different person. Sorry, I just wanted to correct that because I didn't want that to manifest.
Yes.
Esau is a completely different person. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yes, please do correct. Yeah, so Africa Debunk is saying Isa, Jesus, Yeshua. That's it. Yeah, I've also heard of Yeshua. So Mormon's God is Elohim. Thank you. I'm learning a lot today, guys. Like, really learning a lot. But yeah, I just think it's really interesting. Hi, Nigel Fromage. Good to see you. I think it's really interesting because generally my understanding of religion is that it's all the same. It's all the same. Like these religions are the same, but again, it's all about translation, right? And then, of course, where I've mentioned and where my knowledge comes from is the manipulation of religion. So someone said this earlier. Was it Angry Buddha that said it? Or maybe it was Mike that said it. Of course, like in Islam, there is manipulation. In Christianity, there's manipulation. In Catholicism, there's manipulation. Like these religions have manipulation in them, and this is why I do talk about spirituality, and I do try to see to people, if you spend more time with self, what is your inherent knowing telling you rather than what you're reading from other people? Because really, the more that you can stand upon yourself, the more powerful you become, because people who come here know that they can't tell me shit. Like, I can listen, I can respect, I can understand, but my belief will always be my belief, and what I feel makes sense to me without reading things. And I always say this as well, Black and brown people have an inherent knowing, but we've been turned around to not even trust ourselves, and that's a big problem in life generally, and also where I feel like a lot of religious problems come in, because we don't trust ourselves anymore. We don't trust the decisions that we make. Sometimes we don't trust each other enough, and we're too busy thinking about the colonizer a lot of the time. So when we talk about anti-blackness, where does that come from? It comes from the colonizer coming in and saying things about us, that we're the bad guys and that we do all the crime and that we have this evil in us. We don't. That's not part of our being at all. At all. Check our history. We've never had these kinds of problems, or we've never had global wars, for goodness sake. That weren't us. We were having, and I think Africa Debunk, you said this, like tribal skirmishes. That's where we've been at. So to think that there's some kind of evil in us is not right at all. It's not right at all. It doesn't belong there. Like I said, sometimes things get tough and things get wrong and we do bad things, yes, but it's not in a big way as people think it is, because otherwise we would have annihilated the world like the white man did. And thank you, Private. We are gods, especially Black women, in my opinion, those who have freed themselves from mental colonization. Thank you. That's exactly what I believe in as well. But I'm also going to bring in Zodi now, because Zodi has been waiting patiently. And we've also got Ayinde. So actually, let me go to Ayinde. Let me get the ethnic background of your biological parents, please. Ayinde? Are you there?
I'm Nigerian. Good morning.
Nigerian. Thank you so much. Good morning to you, brother. Okay, so I'm going to go to Zodi now, please. Zodi, what would you like to add in this conversation? If you want to talk more about religion, or is there something else on your mind? Like, what's the reason that you decided to join us today?
Yeah, I just was, scrolling, and I think I saw you once on my FYP. So my second time of listening, and I'm someone that is interested mostly, I find African history, ancestry, link very important to me. So whenever I hear people on the debate, I just want to listen. For me, religion is politics. For me. And it has never been clear to me as it was in 2026 when we have this geopolitical issue with the States and Iran and everything. You see how it was, played in there. Everybody trying to be Christian. We're trying to bring peace to the world. The other people are bad. They come from somewhere else, so we have to make them, then I could understand that, okay, this idea of being a Christian is more deeper, because if you really are Christ-like, just as you want to claim, you accommodate people in your space, right, regardless of their colors or their design. But you feel you want to be a Christian, but you still don't, you still have a kind of a mind construct of the people you allow in your space and how they should be and where they should be. So for me, I can understand that it's all about politics. And when people say Jesus Christ is a black man, the name, is changed based on, for me, if we agree as black people that Jesus Christ is a black person, why is it difficult for the colonial person, like the colonial masters, to agree or make it a standard for the believer to say, yeah, this is who he is? Because if you are a chemist, right? If you decide to take two elements and decide to give them wrong chemical properties and say, well, sodium it behaves this way, aluminum behaves like way, you give it a wrong meaning, and you decide to have a chemical reaction between those two elements, you're going to have this. You are going to have something that is not truthful, because you've already given a wrong identity, a wrong property, chemical property. So, if you decide to have an introduction of a faith that has been compromised with the identity, with the name, so who are you praying to?
Yeah.
How do you connect to the source? That is my question. So it's like me looking at you, I know who you are, I know who your parents is, but someone is telling me a different thing. I just have to accept it because it becomes a standard. So how do I not connect with you? I could be calling you in the midst of people. You won't listen to me because I'm not really identifying you, because I'm not it bothers me. For me, if the God is all-knowing, as the Bible says, you don't need any person from the east or the west to come and tell you about him. You will your consciousness will tell you exactly what the person who's telling you the story is talking about. You people will have the same mindset. It's like me coming to tell you about God. You say, oh God, Josodi, you're telling me about God. I know him too. His name is Joseph. Yeah. So we have to have the same mindset. But when you come telling me that this is God, and you say we are created in the same image and likeness, we come from the same source, so why have I been dumb of not knowing him?
Yeah.
Why is it that it's you who was the only person that could know him if we are coming from the same father? So what happened to me?
Yeah, I think that's really good points you've made there. I probably won't be able to say it in the same way, but I really liked how you said that. If Jesus was, let's just say, for argument's sake, black or brown, right? Let's say melanated, okay? Because we know that he was definitely, like, what we know this for a fact, where he was born, where he was from in the world, how he was described in these scriptures, hair of wool. So that was God. Jesus was it, right? He was hair of wool, and then silver. So God was silver, whatever it was. It was basically the texture, right? Was
skin like brass, bronze, like wool.
Yes. Thank you so much. Exactly. So we knew that he was not a white man from Anglo-Saxon, like Saxony. We know that now. But that's right. Like if it was the case that is true, which we do know it is true, why would then the white man manipulate it? And why then would we want to associate ourselves with any kind of manipulation of what the truth is? Like that's where you would need to try to think, well, actually, is there another religion? If you need religion, is there one that seems a little bit more accurate to me or to what my belief is currently in that time? So yeah, I like what you had to say there, Zodi. I'm just going to bring in quickly Ayinde as well. And then actually, do you know what? Let me introduce the two people that are come on the panel now as well. So we've got Luna Noir. Luna Noir, how are you?
Hi, sis, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I saw your lovely comments in the comment section, so I'm glad that you're really enjoying the space. Thank you for that. Would you let me know, or let us know here, the ethnic background of your biological parents, please?
I'm South African.
South African, thank you so much. And then also we've got Subweezy officials at the top there, please. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Can I have the ethnic background of both of your parents, please?
I'm Nigerian.
Both of them?
Yeah, Nigerian, yeah.
Which tribe?
Igbo.
Igbo, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, Ayinde, what would you like to add to the conversation, my dear?
Just something real quick. I just want to correct something. I'm actually not even, quote, Nigerian. I'm Awori, Ondo, and Egun. This is how far colonized we are. The concept that we've all used to identify ourselves is still a colonial concept. You know what I mean? So when I think about this conversation that we're having about religion right now, right? I immediately am pointed back to Sister's question earlier about solutions. You know, it's like, what do we do? What is the issue? What do we do with this issue of religion? Because I want to talk about all the other stuff on your background too. You know, but I want to contribute to the current conversation. So what do we do with religion? The ultimate place that I want to take this is, what is religion doing for us? We are a people who are shackled physically and mentally, economically and politically, right? What is religion doing for us? If someone can tell me that, then I will willfully, joyfully, and even enthusiastically engage in a conversation about religion with you.
Yeah. Does anyone on the panel want to answer that question? What is religion doing for Black people?
Let me try and answer that one. Personally, I would think that religion is tightening the shackles on us as a people. And the only way we can unshackle ourselves is using the spirituality lane, because spiritualism is individual and it's more like you speaking directly to the Supreme Being by yourself, getting the good things, all the positivity, and trying to weigh in between with your own personal negativities to align with everyone else without you being indoctrinated or having attachment to someone's indoctrinations. So I believe spirituality is what can unite us as a people, whilst religion will tighten the shackles because it creates more confusion amongst us.
Yeah, thank you. Who wants to answer the question next? I saw everybody like almost unmute. Who's next?
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Africa, you go ahead, brother. Africa.
Yeah, I think in terms of religion, I can't pretend to you that religion has been especially for African people, has been a net positive. So, however, I would say in very niche cases, I've seen where like religion can be helpful. So, for example, like those of us who are in the diaspora, who are in countries where we are a small minority, some of us are 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% of populations. And oftentimes when you're trying to find community, when you're trying to find like other Black people, the church can be very, very useful in terms of like its actual real life utilities. Because I have many
community.
Yeah, I have many criticisms of how we do religion, but in terms of like functionally in the real world where it helps, definitely to build community, definitely, and I think it's definitely in terms of making black relationships. I know that may sound like, but like, hey, having Black people in proximity to each other in a free space where they can mingle, fall in love, do business with each other. The church often, especially in like in the West where we're a minority, it does fill that role.
It's very true. Let me tell you that. Oh my God. it's been very sad for me, actually. Living outside of London and connecting with Black people was very difficult. The only way that I could have a Black connection is if I went into a church. But for me, like I said, like religion was out of the question for me. So I didn't have a lot of Black friends or Black adults even when I moved to my next town that I moved to. I had a few Black friends, but I wanted more. And so that's what I feel like is yeah, it's a positive. But again, if I went into those spaces, and actually it's been a bit frustrating in some parts of my life because of this, if I went into those spaces, again, would it lead to this indoctrination which lives in Black Christians? Like it does, and I didn't want to go down that route at all. So yeah, you do have some positive. To answer, of course, Ayinde's question, yes, there is positives, but also for me myself, it would have been very much to the detriment if you're outside of the religion. Who's next, please? I think we saw Subweezy unmuted. Yeah, Subweezy, do you want to answer?
Yeah.
Go on, Subweezy.
No, for me, I just wanted to just say, speak a little bit of what I said. I feel that with the term religion as a whole, I think maybe we're looking at religion as only Christianity and Islam as the popular ones. But we still forgot that Africa on its own, or Africans, has certain religions within certain tribes that it was largely spread. I'll talk about my family, right? If I go like for a while back, as me who is Igbo, and one of my, like, I think my great-grandfather was part of the Aro Confederacy, right? Aro Chukwu people. And the only time you know a lot of things about them is when you are in there. But it was something that spread wide, and a lot of certain people believed that would join them. Even far before when Christianity came, but then a lot of people didn't take it, didn't accept it like that when it was spread, and it was just little by little, right? Even sometimes, even when I'm speaking with my grandparents, but we have like a lot of oral traditions, right? And when they were telling us, oh, like, I know I'm part of those people. Have people that my parents are like, when this Christianity thing came first, you have to understand that it was your fellow Black person who was traders who have been around those European countries before, that when those white people came, they were the one translating what they were saying to you, because they have been around. They were not stopped in West Africa. There were a lot of traders who have been moving around. The only way you had content was people were translating. It was your own.
I remember translations are never 100% accurate.
Yes.
They're about 70% accurate. 70%. It's never word for word. Like, I love seeing now, even on TikTok, when you're watching a show in like Korean or Japanese or Igbo or like Yoruba, whatever it is, you'll always see somebody else in the comment section say, well, you know, the subtitles are not translating that correctly. And it misses a lot of the emotion, right?
Yes.
It misses a lot of emotion. So, yeah, I think that's a very fantastic point to make.
And one thing I'll just say again is, religion, you want to talk about religion is, when you see different religion, it moves with people who have certain idea or have a certain belief system. This is different between Christianity or Islam. Even if we remove Christianity or Islam from the way, there are people who believe in certain things that in that group, that's what they know, and that's their mindset, that is their idea. If you go into their midst and disrupt that idea, they'll look at you and say, who is this person? They might end up kicking you out because you are not moving along with their idea or what their belief system, right? I think religion has always existed within African culture. But a lot of those religions that we practiced before, a lot of them has like almost gone out. Only few, very low percentage of people still like do it, right? Still go through it and everything. I think that's my point on the religion as a whole.
Thank you very much. Who was next to answer the question, please? Is anyone else wanting to answer the question? Zodi?
Yeah, I was going to say something. Yeah, I think confraternity is quite different from being in a religion for me, right? Just like what you said, it kind of do with people in a sect, and in a situation like that, those people don't entice you to be a member. You see what they do and see how they develop, and maybe if you have the same spiritual mindset, or you see those things that they see, they know from their spiritual point of view to take you in and direct you properly. That is what the confraternity does, right? In that African region, they don't just bring people because you like how they feel. You have to have something in you, a gift that they can work with, and that is why they don't just put people in regardless. So it is not a standard that everybody must partake in it. So that's different from a religious, because religion is quite broad, like it takes in everybody, right? And the question he asks as regard what happens, what is Christianity, what has Christianity done to Africa? Yeah, it's just there to, to confuse people more. Ask yourself, why is it that it's an enterprise that is not taxable? Right? That's one. And secondly, why is it that in the world standard, as a Christian, you can do whatever you want to do. You can preach the Bible the way you want to.
Yeah, as long as God forgives you, you go in that little booth and say, only, all my sins are washed away. Like, that's the thing that also bothered me a lot about that. It's like, I can do whatever I want. Confession.
That is one. And secondly, it's deeper than that. You see, the world standard of everything as the system has created, you ask yourself, why should your medicine be run by a group of people from a particular part of the world? Why is your market, your global market, has to be a standard of some particular people? Why is it a particular people that will control maybe your football, your music, the food you eat, and the same thing with your religion? And one thing, if it comes to football, for instance, there is a standard that you must partake in. You must do it. You must follow the standard. If it comes to medicine, you must practice under a standard. But for them, for the religion, you can do whatever you want, because the religion itself is doing what it has been programmed to do. So they give you the free, you have the free hand to use it the way you want to suit. But the other things that kind of can challenge the system, you need to be controlled by the way you read. The school you go to, you need to be controlled a certain way of how. But for I can be a pastor now and start building churches, auditorium all over the place. Nobody is coming from the West, for instance, to start telling me to sanction me and say, don't do this, because it is still the idea of the master that I'm doing. I'm still trying to push, the machine to work the way the machine works, regardless of what I'm saying. But as much as I hold the book does its work. But when it comes to education, when it comes to development, when it comes to me sitting down in my village and start to build the machine, someone is going to come after me somehow. If the machine is trying to say something different to the system, someone is going to tell me, Zodi, what are you doing? You can't do that. You have to see me before you do that. I must see whatever it is that you are doing. But when it's the religion, I'm free to do whatever I can do. So that tells you something that something is wrong here, because the religion is not challenged. Look at, for instance, I come from Nigeria. Nigeria has the vast, right? Nobody is challenging that to say, well, why are you people doing this? Or should these people be sanctioned? Why, But if the development is coming the way the religious growth is coming, we're going to be having challenges through people that will interfere with our system and say, no, these people need to be controlled. I think they're having the brains now to develop. This is not what we want them to do. But as if when we continue the religious way, nobody's coming to threaten you and say what you are doing is wrong.
I just want to bring up as well, I don't know if anyone knows this statistic, but there are only 20,000 mosques in Christian countries, okay? 20,000. There are 100,000 churches in Muslim countries. So I just wanted to add that piece of information into your minds to make you think, okay, what's going on there? Why are there so many churches? 100,000. I'm just talking about in Muslim countries, 100,000, and only 20,000 mosques in Christian countries. So there really is, of course, this very disproportionate balance between what religion has done and how things are sort of spread, and who is going to be looking for guidance, right? Because I mean, like I said, I know some people need guidance and they need somewhere to go. But Zodi, you said it perfectly. Religion is political. It is absolutely political, and we know that, of course, during the Ottoman Empire, Islam was pushed onto people. We know this for a fact. We know that when European slaves were freed, they were then offered the chance to convert to Islam, and then they also did some raiding. So you had a lot of European raiders who then started to make a lot of money through Islam as well. That happened. This is where Europeans and white people get fucked up. They always say, "Oh, Ottomans and the Barbary slave trade." Like, yeah, you bitches were still making the money. You were literally the pirates on the water that were doing that stuff because you converted to Islam, and then also, in terms of Christianity, I mean, we're very aware, of course, it's our story. But I think what's really interesting to see from a different perspective is now this idea of like, well, black people need to be talking about the Arab slave trade. Why am I going to be talking about that? I'm not affected by that. Is this a British accent, or does it sound like it's a bit more of an Arabian Arabic accent? It's fucking British. So I'm going to be talking about that. If white people are too triggered by conversations to do with religion, spirituality, Islam, Christianity, race, ethnicity, heritage, blah, 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 then they should go into the spaces that heal them. I just need to bring it back to what we're discussing and say again, I'm really fucking loving this conversation today. Brothers and sisters, you've been absolutely amazing on this panel. I'm really, really, really happy. Guys, you see how easy it can be to have a space where nobody's arguing, nobody's fighting, there's no bad vibes, there's no drama, there's no racists in the comment section going like, doesn't happen here because I have fantastic moderators who literally come and they are doing the work. And of course, I always tell them as well when they need to be on point. And so they're really, really on board. So again, let's give big ups to the moderators. We're going to give them a little clap, clap, clappity, clap, clap, clap for the moderators. So thank you for that. Yeah, thank you very much for letting us have this conversation. So yeah, again, you see, even in our differences, the things that we do believe, don't believe, we've got people who believe in Christianity, people who are spiritual, people who are like completely against it, but we can still talk. And this is what blackness is, guys. This is blackness. Don't let them believe that we are belligerent and that we can't control our emotions. And we can, and we're doing it. We've done it. We've been doing it, right? Yeah, exactly, Sister Z. We've been doing it. So it's just make sure that you're around like-minded people, and then those people will help you believe and remember what black people were before them fucking Neanderthals came along and mashed us up, man. They come and mashed us up. So do some people answer your question there, Ayinde? It was a long conversation, but Ayinde, how do you feel about the answers that you've received? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, sorry. Thank you for giving me time to like engage with everybody's thoughts here. I didn't really hear from Sister too because I think she's also, you're also like a believer in like Christianity, right?
No, I don't believe in Christianity. I believe in the scriptures. I believe that the scriptures and the religion are two completely different things. I believe that the scriptures relates more to Black history than we believe in this day and age. It's just a matter of us picking up and reading it from a historical context as opposed to what we've been taught by our captors.
Okay, well, I appreciate you making that clarification. So the reason why I specifically asked that question, right, because I was thinking about how to answer your question about what the solution is, right? Because the solution is that we start a revolution and take our stuff back and build our own systems and live the lives that we want, that we choose. So the reason why I asked the question, how does religion help us, is not just how does religion help us, how does religion help us do that?
Right. Which is a valid question. And to be honest, I like the fact that you asked that question, and that's why I stayed quiet and I didn't respond to that question because I wanted to hear what people wanted to say about that as well. But with that being said, this has been a very mentally stimulating conversation. I really appreciate you, Fox, for holding the space, and the panelists, the brothers and sisters that have contributed. I've learned a lot. And you guys have opened up my mind to a different perspective to explore. And with that, I wish y'all nothing but the best. Please follow me. I'm going to follow all of you lot as well. Follow me. Please interact. I'm trying to get myself out of my comfort zone. Let me.
Yes, girl. Follow back.
In these kind of spaces, yeah? But I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you lots encouraging.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Big ups.
And then I'm going to head out.
Big ups. Thank you so much, Sister Z. Thank you, again, for bringing the conversation to the table. Because I don't know, was it yourself that brought up religion? I don't know who brought it up first, but this is the longest conversation I've had about religion. So again, like I say, it's been very insightful for myself. That's why I've enjoyed it so much. Like when I learn new things, I'm like, oh yeah, my brain is so happy right now.
Yeah, for real. Like, I love like conversations like this where like, we can speak about the problems that we have at hand, that we know at hand, and we can actually come up with solutions. Let's try this. Let's focus on this. Let's try this avenue or whatever. Yeah. I'm tired of having these conversations. It's like an echo chamber at this point. We know what the issues are. Do you know what I mean?
So yeah, the solution. So I mean, if you want to drop down, please do. But yeah, you talk about solutions. Let's definitely bring that back. So like I said, it's more to do with knowing self. Ayinde, you've said revolution, absolutely, and I think that comes from our lack of confidence. Someone else I think said it, but I definitely know on a panel yesterday it was about the black fatigue. We've got black fatigue. For those of you who don't know, this is a term that means that black people have been so drained of energy from colonization and the constant put downs about us. But of course, what white people do all the time is they always weaponize phrases. Everything that we've got, they are parasites, and they always take what we have and they turn it into something else. Black fatigue literally has really, exactly, you're exhausted. Yeah, a lot of people are. Thankfully, there are people like myself who have left the UK and left Europe, and I'm reborn, I'm regenerated, so I want to give you back some energy, my brothers and sisters here, and all of those who identify differently, he, she's, theys, however you identify, we're all family here, and I'm loving the black space today. So solutions, again, like really find ways to get that energy back up, right? And it comes through things like revolution. I know right now, if you feel tired, please try and find more positive black spaces. That is a very, very key thing. I know it's quite hard around here, but at least you know that this is one. Okay, and I really feel very happy and encouraged that I have people who come here a lot, and they always say that they feel re-energized. Yeah, thank you, Ayinde, fantastic. That's why they keep coming back here, because they know that the conversation is going to lift them up, and that's what we need. So I've talked about, even this last week, of course, with the tragic death of Professor Dr. Jason Arday, that I was personally annoyed that when I was seeing the vigils in London, I was like, well, where's the anger? Hello? Where's the anger? Where is it? I'm not seeing it. It's again this, we've got to love it. No, fuck that shit, man. Stop it. Stop it. We've always been loving. We are those people. Where's the fire? And this is why I do put it down to a lot of living in Britain. Like I've said, the energy is low, the vibration is low. Yeah, exactly. I agree with London Hughes. I've been following her for a long time, and she liked one of my posts the other day, which was really good. But I've always championed her. She's a black Brit that lives in America. She can see it. Once you're outside of it, you know that black Americans, African Americans have really been on the forefront of revolution. You can't argue that at all. Black Lives Matter started in America and then moved throughout the rest of the world. The rest of the world, it was that powerful. Yes, we were at home during COVID and we saw it a lot, but Black Lives Matter in the UK was, again, instrumental after so much sort of like not sitting back, let's say. That 90s was the last time when we had some real, you're saying that London is a generational swindler. I don't believe that. I think differently about her. But also back in the 90s, we had more protests back in the actually 70s, 80s. There was a lot more black protests. There was a lot of black and brown unity as well. There was, I can't remember the name of the organization, but it was like Black and Brown Sisters of something. I can't remember. A swirler. What does a swirler mean? Africa Dubai. What do you mean? Generational swirler. Can you elaborate what that means? I don't know what that means.
London Hughes. I'm sure London Hughes has not touched a black man in 15 years. She has a very specific type, man.
I know. I used to listen to her podcast. Yeah, I used to listen to her podcast, so I know what you're talking about. They're all foot freaks. The foot freaks.
She's not wrong with what she's saying. Yeah, but like that girl has a very specific type. God bless her.
Yeah. So yeah, let's correct, because I misread. It's not a swindler, it's a swirler. Thank you, Crystal. Swirling is playing in the snow. Yes, she does. It's London Hughes, and she talks a lot about. She's actually been the only black comedian I can say that has consistently talked about black issues. Like when the N-word is said at the BAFTAs, she was there. When it was broadcast by the BBC, she was interviewed. Like, she's got a real track record of really discussing the horrible things that have happened to black people. And of course, she's been still doing it outside the United States. But every time she talks about something, black Brits always come along going, no, we've done this. And even I was on a panel yesterday when a woman, she was amazing. Like, she was talking with so much passion, but she was talking all about the passion in things that had happened outside of the UK, you know, talking about things that happened in the motherland and happened in America. And I'm like, yeah, but you're missing what's happening in the UK. And that's the problem. People are letting too much shit go in the UK, like way too much. And again, we're not angry enough. Like, where is the fury? Where is the fire? Because back in BLM in 2020, that's when you saw the speakers really standing up and being like, this is a travesty. This is disgraceful. We can't allow this, da, 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 da. And then, because then the fatigue sets in. So let us just keep with that energy. It needs to be fire. None of this air shit. Like, and this is me as a Libra, man. I'm a Libra, so I'm an air sign. But we need to be more like the Scorpios. We need to be a bit more on it with this shit. Like, really, really and truly. In the comment section. Yes, 1 minute, I'll come to you. When I'll also need to introduce someone at the top. But Dam says, can swirling be pro-black? Yes, for me, it's a mindset. For me, I've seen too many black people, black men, who are so anti-black. Like, especially on this platform, Africa Debunked, I know you've seen this shit. There are too many black men who are like, black people could be racist too. We need to, like, champion white people. It's about the mind. It is really about the mind and who it is in. Date who you want to date, love who you want to love, but make sure that the person that you're with is pro-black. Black people also cannot be pro-black as well. So I'm going to introduce Brother Fucks at the top, please. Brother Fucks, how are you?
How are you, man?
I'm good, thank you. What's the ethnic background of your mother and father, if you know them, please?
I think in South Africa, I would say they are both Tsonga.
Tonga. Thank you so much.
Tonga.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to come to you because
that is political correctness. That is political correctness because, when our colonizers came here, they wanted to bundle us under one thing. What actually happened was we were sitting on the side of Mozambique, and people don't know this, that before the Christians came to colonize us, we were already submitted to God under Islam. Now let me prove what I'm saying. The name Mozambique is actually the name of a person, Musa bin Bik. That is an Arab, that is an Afrab, a black Moor. Now, this is long before the colonial things came, and what I'm saying, you can go and check it in history. So Fala, right, on the coast of Tanzania and Mozambique, was the port of trading. Now it was first held by the Tembes, who are Tsonga, then held by Shangamia, and then held by the Swahilis, right? These are also Arabs, when the Arabs later took over. Now, part of this history tells you that whatever religious history that the white man came and gave us is incorrect. I'm talking about the religious history of South Africa. Whatever it is that they have given us, number one, they told us we were still participating in animism. They told us that we were running around in animal skins. That narrative does not make sense, because you ask the question that why were we given something like Bantu education? Bantu education was said it was to civilize us. Now, I disagree. I say Bantu education was to hypnotize us. Why hypnotize us? To cause us to forget. Now, imagine if you come from a space where you have been dispossessed of land and you have been shifted to a particular place. Now, you have your own education, you have your own systems, you have all of these things. Now, the system now dictates that your child, you are no longer an authority of education over the life of your child. So therefore, even if you say, for example, you should learn that which I give you. When you take your child to school, the teacher at school is smarter than you. This is what they're going to say. Your mother is not educated. Your mother does not know English. Your mother does not have a degree. So who becomes the authority? The school becomes the authority. Therefore, even though you want to teach your children the truth, we have already disconnected them from your truth, regardless of how true it is. And we have now attached them to the truth of the colonizer. Now, the truth of the colonizer then becomes very interesting because we then attach ourselves wholeheartedly to this thing. You should hear how Black people defend colonial history to a point where we can even put our lives on the line to defend my Zuluness, to defend my Shanganess, to defend, and these things are very, very recent. Very recent. Now, part of this confusion is that thing where we are told divide and conquer. I think a recent thinker, very recent, Nkrumah, the former president of Ghana, talks about conscientiousness. And that's something that is not taught to us. We are not taught to be conscientious of who we are. It's one thing to be conscious, to be awake, but it's another thing to always be conscious. You see, of who you are, and that's very important. Why is it important? It is important because as Black people, and I don't want to use the word African because even the name Africa is given by people.
Yeah.
Yes. So now, if it is the Greeks that came and told us that we are Africans, right? And then the Arabs come and tell us that this is Al-Kabulan, who are we outside of them? Right? So I do not want to use that, but I will use melanin because that is something that is deeper than the names that they come and label us with. And because of that, imagine if you and I are separated by language. And when we think we are not related, you would think you are more related to the British. And I would think I'm more related to the Afrikaner. Right? When we have no relation to either of these Caucasians, our relation goes deeper than skin. It's blood relation. I think the Bible, in the Bible, there's a very interesting story of the prodigal son. And I think Christians must begin to practice this thing in their head. That the prodigal son, when he's there, he's prodigal, he's outside. When he comes back to his father's table, he's no longer prodigal. Now, that's what we must understand, that when our minds return, when our minds come back, we must understand that we must return to the house of our Father. We don't return as slaves, we don't return as servants, and we need to re-engineer our morals. Because we have been engineered to think like a slave, to behave like a slave, to walk like a slave, to bend like a slave, a haircut like a slave. Now, all of these things that are acceptable to the Europeans are not necessarily who we are. So if I, for example, want to grow my hair, they call it dreadlocks. Do you know what the word dread means? Dread means something that looks ugly. Dread means something that looks evil. But let me conclude with this, because it's very interesting how even those that claim to have the Bible and hold the Bible to high regard do not understand that there are so many smoking guns within the text to blow up the entire, I'm not even talking about Christianity now, to blow up the entire Jewish system. Like blow it up. Now let me show you what I'm saying. Let me show you what I'm saying. You have the story of Moses. The first 5 books of the Torah. Show me a devil there. There's no devil. And I'm not talking about eisegesis where you go and take the snake and make it a devil. It says that this thing was a serpent. Nowhere did it become that is post-mortem. You are reading into things now. Moses did not have a devil until he was unalived. There was no devil. Go and look it up. No devil. Now, what happens? Persian or Babylonian colonization. When they were taken into Babylon, they now adopted the Babylonian system. That's when you start to see the change in gods, the change in systems. Now you start seeing angels, now you start seeing devils, now you start seeing it's a Zoroastrian system. So what happens with the present day Judaism? Because you check how they used to write Paleo Hebrew and how they write a Second Temple Hebrew, completely different. What happened? Persian expansion. Persia decided, let's go into what was the ruins of Babylon, enter there, where Babylon sieged these guys, and then start a community. Go and read in the Bible. When the Samaritans came to greet their brothers coming back from the slavery, they say, we are not your brothers. What were they saying? They were actually saying, we are Persians. Go and check the laws of Ezra are not the laws of Moses. They are completely different. Persian laws, Persian expansion. Now, what am I saying in all of this? When the Greeks come and destroy Persia, the only thing that remains is Judaism. And those guys there claiming that they are from God. How does Cyrus, a Persian king, Cyrus, a Persian, become your Messiah? I mean, come on, guys. This is crazy. But anyway.
Yeah, let me just because, like, in the comment section as well, it is true that there's other people that do want to speak as well. Is that I'm going to put a timer on right now. Let me just have a little interlude. Thank you for that as well, Brother Fox. You got a lot of knowledge there, so thank you. I was like trying to take it all in. But we're almost at 80k taps, guys. So please, let's try and push to 100. Okay, we're going to push the 100k taps. I'm going to be on maybe for another 30 minutes, an hour. I'm not sure. However long my battery will take, we will do that. So yeah, let's try and get to 100k taps, please. Also, you've seen my gift goals. Some of you have been really fantastic and actually achieving some of my gift goals. So you see that purple bar in the middle there, which keeps flicking around. Please click that and then send your gifts there as well if you're really appreciating the space in the panel. Also, please don't forget to gift the panelists too. If you're really liking everything that they're saying, if people are dropping some bars, yeah, Africa, you can come in next. So please do make sure that you're showing your appreciation. Thank you so much, Fertile Soul. Thank you very much. If you don't know who I am, my name is Fox. I'm doing decolonization. I'm bringing together Black people from the diaspora, of course, African, Caribbean, however you want to identify. If we're talking about the motherland, of course, Brother Fox just mentioned that is not even fucking Africa, for goodness sake. And we're still using colonial terms, but those terms, of course, sometimes are used to just bring people back to the conversation and to bring us together. So yeah, again, please click my face up there to follow me. That means that you will find a live that I'm running today or again. And then also I'm going to put a comment in the comment section so you can follow me in my other account, because sometimes I do lives from this account, depending on how triggered TikTok gets, because they like to censor me a lot. Because when you're a Black woman on this panel talking truthfully about white people and Black people and brown people, they don't like that shit because they want us to have knowledge. So make sure that you're please following that too. So Africa, my brother, actually, do you know what? Let me do the timer because then everybody can make their points or anything that's on their mind. Let me figure out how to do this shit because I've never done this before. Is that how we do it? Yeah, let me see. So I'm going to give everybody, I can do 2 minutes. Okay. 2 minutes on the count. I think this is how you do it because I've never done it before. So we see how it's going to run. So yes, Lorito, yes.
Good. I'm in afternoon. Hi, host and Black
Hello.
people on this section. Thank you so much for your lovely panel and just the space where Black people can come together and really be, one and put their Africanness first before everything else that divides us. I don't know if you want me to introduce myself. but I am also a South African belonging to the Pedi tribe in Limpopo, together with Brother Fuchs there. I want to make a submission in terms of, the things that have been happening, particularly the divide that is happening around Black people. I belong to an organization called the Economic Freedom Fighters, which we are a Pan-African organization, and we have been ostracized because we refuse to play to the gallery of fighting against our Black people. I want to learn a lot from Black people in Africa, in the diaspora, and in the Caribbeans. I want to say that some of us do not belong to these funded movements that happen on social media. In reality, our people, we live together. Plenty of people that we know, that we live together peacefully. These are funded, issues that are happening in South Africa, not excusing the behavior of these people that have decided to divide the Black nation. And we are not going to separate ourselves from Black people. That is not going to happen.
Lovely. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to cut you off, Lirito, but I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes, but I did it wrong. Can someone teach me, please, how to make it do 2 minutes for everybody? Because I obviously gave 2 minutes to Lirito, but we need to make sure that everybody else gets through. Can someone teach me, help me? How do we do it? How do I do the countdown?
I think you have to go to... it's hard to explain.
You can just do Showtime again.
Like Showtime, yeah.
How do I do that? Where is that?
You just did it, didn't you?
Oh, I did. I clicked one person, clicking it on them, but isn't there an automatic?
Yeah,
or I thought you can automatic.
Showtime is automatic.
Yeah,
it goes.
Yeah. Where's the Showtime? How do I find that? Does anyone know? Oh, is this it? Countdown for all? Oh, I think this is it. Yeah, I think I've just found it. Okay. Countdown for all. Let me see. Let me click it. I think, is this it? Have I done it?
I don't think it is.
Oh, no, that's not right. That's not right. And hold on. So, unselect the big box. Where is that, Water Goddess? You're telling me big box. What? Which big box? Which big box? Where? Where is it? Tell me what I need to click first and then what I click next. Anyone? In the meantime, okay, nobody knows? I'm clicking around.
Whatever you did before was, that seemed to work.
It's fine? Yeah, should I do per person then? Okay, let me do per person. Okay, let me do you, Africa, next, because you want to say something. And then I'll come back to you, Ray. Actually, let's introduce yourself, sorry. Rainmaker, can you tell me the ethnic background of your biological parents, please?
Yeah, I'm Igbo.
You're Igbo, lovely, thank you. Okay, we're going to go to Africa and then I'm going to come to you next, Rainmaker, because you've been waiting so patiently as well. Africa, your 2 minutes starts now, please.
Cool. The first thing I was going to say is Ibokono, Arokono. But to get to the point that Fox was saying, the first thing I wanted to say is that a lot of the time British people gaslight us and they gaslight when we try and bring up conversations, and they'll say, what about the Arab slave trade? Why do you black people never talk about the Arab slave trade? And I'm like, well, I'm from the western coast of Africa. Why am I talking about Arabs for? Arab people, they never step foot in my land. Like maybe if you were having a conversation with a bunch of people from Mozambique, a bunch of people from Kenya, a bunch of people from Madagascar, they would be speaking about the Arabian slave trade because that's where the Arabian slave trade primarily operated along the Swahili coast. If you're speaking to a bunch of Jamaicans and Nigerians and Ghanaians, yeah, we're not going to have much to say about the Arabs because the Arabs, they never reached our land. It would be silly for me to be focused on the Arabians. Arabians have nothing to do with the coastal part of the Bight of Benin and Bight of Biafra. And the second point I was going to make in regards to in regards to religion and faith is that one of the interesting things that happened in terms of Nigerian history is the co-opting of certain kind of certain deities within both Ifa and Odinani, which are the Yoruba and the Igbo spiritualities, to make them to make them sound like the Satan. So what the Europeans, the colonizers, did is that when they got to Africa, when they got to Nigeria specifically, they said, hey, this god within your mythology or within your spiritual system, the whole time is secretly the devil. And they did that with Eshu in Yoruba language, and they did that with Ekwensu in Igbo language. And Ekwensu is interestingly the god of war, and Eshu is interestingly the god of justice. It's very interesting that they chose those deities.
Yes. Yeah. Finish your point.
It's very interesting that the colonizer specifically targeted those deities which represented things that Africans would need to liberate themselves. If you come to a place that you want to conquer and you say, hey, the god of war, the god of justice are now the devil, what are you trying to do? What kind of ideas are you trying to suppress?
Exactly. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. I think I found the showdown. I think I found it. But Rainmaker, you've disappeared. But I'm going to start it. I think this is how we do it. Let's see. Yeah, let me see. I'm going to do it and see what happens. Is that right? No, have I done it wrong still? I've still done it wrong, haven't I? Have I? Yeah. I've done it wrong. That's still not right. How do I get out of here now? Oh my God. I don't know how to do it. How to frick? Oh yeah, exit. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we're gonna do the next person. Let me just set the thingy back to how it was. I need to do like an online tutorial on how to bloody use TikTok, for goodness sake. Okay, let me just put the thingy back, the layout. Which one was it? This one. Yeah.
So I need to say something.
Yeah, just give me 1 minute because I'm going to exit this. I clicked exit. There we go. And then we're going next to who was next? Sorry, who said they wanted to say something?
Yeah, me.
You. Okay, yeah, I'm going to put you on a 2-minute countdown now as well, please, for your time. Okay.
Yeah, personally, for me, what I want to say about like we talk about what are like solutions a lot of us we need to be doing, especially as Black people. First, I want to say Black people should try to patronize Black stuff, because today we have Black people who invented cars. We have Black people who invented a lot of things. We should try to use our stuff. We should not look our stains, what we have as less, and look at another as higher, right? And another thing again is we have to also understand that the best way for them to colonize colonize us is, first we should look at what we're reading. All our books, they love to paint the beautiful things in white. We have to start changing those things. All these things are psychological. Churches have to stop bringing those white image of Jesus and then putting it there. Because as you're growing up, when you see everything painted white as good, right, it will always be messing with your brain. But if by the time we started changing those little things, like storybooks, Black stories, African stories, stop reading a lot of this. I remember when I was doing my WAEC, I have to read African novel and non-African novel. I don't know why we're reading non-African novels. I don't know. I don't know the reason why we're doing it. And then you see a lot of things where things that are good for us, we call it bad. Me even being me, I'm an Igbo person, but I'm also a Christian, right? But does not mean, even a Christian does not mean I still follow my tradition the way my tradition is. I still do what I have to do.
Thank you very much. Your 2 minutes is up. I still have not been able to figure out how to do a countdown for everybody. There was something that I wanted to bring up. Oh yes, white Jesus. So I don't know if you guys see it. I definitely see it. And it really pisses me off so much that I'm getting a lot on my algorithm sadly, too many brothers and sisters in the motherland who are holding up white Jesus on their TikTok live and going to battles with other brothers and sisters from the motherland who've got pictures or they're holding the Quran, right? And seeing that is just like, it's tragic that we've literally become people that have boiled down to this. And they're just saying, you know what, which religion is better? Yeah, exactly, Larita. Religion is used to divide us. And that's what I'm now seeing, is that black people are battling between Islam and Christianity. And again, like seeing this white Jesus and seeing actually how brainwashed black people are still in the motherland, it's really heartbreaking. There's one guy on here that literally makes me cry when I see him. And I go into his comic section, and every time I comes by, he always says, fucks, 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 fucks. He always says my name like a million times. And I'm always just like, I want to wake you up, because when I see you, you look like my dad. Like, he literally does look like my dad. And I'm just like, I know that my dad, like I've said, he's had teachings of both, right? He's had teachings of Christianity and of Islam. So, you know, when I see that guy, it hurts my heart that he's very indoctrinated. Thankfully, my dad's never been that indoctrinated, and thankfully he is now spiritually awakened, by the way, so it's actually beautiful. So me and my dad talk a lot about our spiritual experiences, and we talk about our dreams that we have and the fact that they're so prophetic. And me and my dad are like best friends. I talk about him quite often sometimes, but you know, I love the guy. He's just amazing, and I'm so glad that he's gone on to a journey of evolution. But I think really what's been very fascinating in the conversations we've had so far is the conversation a lot today has been about religion. And you mentioned solutions, the last person who was speaking. I do think that that's a big part of it. Solution, if you're hearing these kind of conversations and you're thinking, oh, John, you know what, these people might be right, find a way to come out of religion that will bring your power back. And like I've said, and like what I focus on a lot is black empowerment, to recharge our energy again. And that's why I say this has to be a safe space for our conversation. There's no racist taking the conversation away. And once you find yourself again, so many things happen. So many things get opened up to you again. So then you can go into other spaces and try and bring your brothers and sisters along with you. Dams says, how can you be Christian and follow your tradition at the same time? Yeah, me personally, that's just a personal opinion. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible because of what my interactions with, like I said, with my belief about Christianity and what I've seen for myself. Like I spoke about my auntie being so brainwashed in the motherland. I'm just like, this is not it, man. It's not it. It's not it. So Zodi, what would you like to add, my love? Oh, actually, before you come in, Zodi, so please keep tapping. We're almost at 100K likes. Okay, guys, we're almost at 100K like. We're now in the C5 top 10%, which is really great. Okay, we're in C5 because it starts at like D5 or something, so that means we're going up in the league. It's fantastic. Also, you can see my gift goals there in the purple. So there's one more. We've got one more to go until we reach this, and then I will reset the goal. So whoever can do this will be absolutely fantastical. Again, if you have not joined me, you don't know who I am, please click my face. That means you follow. And then also this orange heart as well will help you join the community as well. And it's 1 coin to join. So thank you very much for that. So yes, Sodi, what would you like to add? I'm going to give you a 2-minute timer. Just give me 1 minute to set that up for you, my lovely. Sodi. Here we go. Sodi. Countdown. 2 minutes starts now, my dear.
Host, can you be an iPhone and you be operating on Android? How possible is that?
Not
so that's how we are. I used to tell people we are like elements on the periodic table. We have our properties and how we are. Right? You can't be a Christian and also practice the ways of your colonial design. You see, I think in as much as we have the subject and we try to understand why we are not even developing as a race, I think it's because we are not connected to the motherboard, right? We are like softwares or apps that are running. We are running on a system that is not our system. So sometimes some might do well, but sometimes some might fall out, and that's what we are. Because if you look at our ancestors, what they've passed through, what they've designed have been structure they ran and how it has been destroyed. Wherever they are, they won't be happy with you when you do some certain things that they have feel that they felt that has wronged them, has ruined their design as a people who had already had a structure that was programmed for us. So that is why we are not where we are in the global space of things, because we have all it takes, the land, the resources, and everything. It's not by chance for us to have that. It means that we are very important people in this world, but because we fall into a system, an operating system.
Oh, what happened?
Source of, a system where we can run properly. And that's never going to happen, until you go back to your motherboard that was designed for you and start adapting and processing through that system. You go to be where you are. It's simple. I rest my case.
I agree. Thank you so much. Exactly. Go back to your inherent self, even if you find it difficult. So let's give some advice on that, because we've talked about that quite a lot, guys. For those of you who are here regularly, and if it gets into a spiritual conversation with me, it's always like, go outside in nature, literally sit there. And I know sometimes you can hear a lot of voices and a lot of just different sort of narratives in the mind, and they can feel a bit confusing. Askari, why are you unmuting? Askari, don't annoy me today, please, Askari, because the live has been going really well. So don't annoy me, because I will drop you. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did block you the other day or something because you did my head in. So please don't do that, okay? We've really been having great conversation for 2 hours 45. Okay. Yeah, Flywalker's here. My lovely, you're here. Good to see you. Yeah. So for those of you who want to connect more with self, try meditation. If you don't know how to do it, there are plenty of guided meditations that you can do on Spotify. Just have a little scroll through and to see what feels right for you. This is coming from someone who has ADHD and suffered with overthinking. I found it really difficult to meditate. I found it really difficult to connect with self until I had cognitive behavioral therapy that really got my mind to quiet. So you guys know a lot. I've recommended talking therapy. I did that on the NHS for 8 months. This is what's got me to speak as clearly as I do speak and as confidently as I do speak. Cognitive behavioral therapy. The old Fox would have been, all this very negative emotions within me. I would have come across probably very just very upset. My brow would have been very furrowed. I would have been shouting at probably a lot more of you, but it's got me to clear the mind, clear the overthinking so that I can see the path more clearly. And that's what enabled more spirituality to come to me. And then again, I can now meditate, because believe me, I could never do it before. I was always laughing and seeing her who's got their eyes open around and just trying to get people's attention. I could not settle. I could not be calm. So that's how I got to that point. So once you do that, that's when you start to really, Lerato, you need to unlearn and relearn. It is really stripping everything back to then be able to build upon a new foundation, and not the idea that colonizers have put upon you. Like I said here earlier, that if you have any anti-blackness in you, if you have any ways of thinking that we're negative people, someone did say something earlier and I did cut them off and I don't want to repeat it because I don't put energy into it. But if you're thinking that there's a problem with black people, that's anti-blackness for real. We can really identify where the issues are, but you should be part of the solution. What does that look like? And I really, like I said, I will say it again, I'll say it 10 times. We've really had a great conversation about the solution around religion. This is not how I expected the conversation to go, but I've really loved it. Like previously, we've talked a little bit about business, actually not even business. We talked about eating. We've spoken about healthy eating. For those of you who really want to cleanse your insides, we've talked about you going back to plant-based eating, or at least bringing more fruit and vegetables into your diet. I've definitely done that myself. I've moved out of Europe, so I don't have much access to the fast food game. I don't. My joy has also come back through that. I'm drinking a lot of water, if you guys know. You always have to keep hydrated. I said yesterday that the colonizer is so angry because they don't drink enough water. We are mostly water. So then you have to become water, okay? So spend more time with water if you can. Go to the sea, go to a beach, go to a river, go to a lake. Spend time there quietly. Go when the sun is rising or when the sun is setting. These are beautiful times just to really immerse yourself in nature and immerse yourself with things that are around you. I know that it's quite difficult to feel like that's a possibility in the UK sometimes, but honestly, the more you do it, the more you'll enjoy it. When I lived in the UK, I would always take my dogs to the forests that are around, always. And it always would give me so much joy. And like I said, I would do it in the morning when there's nobody around. And so I would see them play and that would give me so much happiness. And that is literally what got me. I mean, I've talked about my dogs a lot and I talk about my first dog. He helped lift me out of depression. For those of you who have animals, please connect more with your animals that you have around you. Or if you can go to zoos and things like that, you see stray animals, you see cats around, spend more time with animals. That is really about how you raise your vibration again. It's really important to do that. Right, someone, I think, put their hand... Did someone put their hand up? I'm not sure. Who's next? Actually, let's bring Lawrence Sam in, because you haven't spoken yet. Yeah, let me bring in Lawrence, and then I'll come back to you, Lerato. Yeah, Lawrence Sam, how are you, my lovely? Lawrence Sam, are you there? Lawrence? Lawrence, are you there? No, come back when you're ready, Lawrence. Okay, Lerato, you can come now, please.
No, thank you, my sister. I think I just wanted to reply to the point that you were making around, how things are, people are dividing, the Black nation.
2 minutes for yourself. 2 minutes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one thing that people need to understand is, if I'll give a typical example, that those other people, they do not see anything other than what they are connected with and how they are connected. In South Africa, there was a point where that other race was saying that Black people are unaliving them. The whole American president made it a point to protect his so-called brothers, no matter how long they were separated. And those are the things that we as Black people need to start learning and making sure that we understand that no matter what separates us as Black people, it is what connects us that we should be focusing on.
Yeah.
And we should be focusing, and we should also, Fox, you have done the work. I have done the work, right? I know I'm a slave in this system, and nobody can convince me otherwise that this system is meant to be anti-Black, right? And I cannot also, as a Black person, then take responsibility for someone who chose to form part of the system or someone who is still learning. We need to be the ones that educate other people, because the system does not allow Black people to educate themselves outside of the system so that they can decolonize their minds, because it has been colonized. And I maybe want to have a conversation with a person like Dems Monroe, who is also wanting, me to take responsibility for people who are Afrophobe, whereas I'm not Afrophobe. I've done the work, right? And those are the conversations that we need to start having.
They're still important though, because if you're not, you still need to call it out. This is the thing, right? So I will still call out, of course, anti-Blackness. All of these things need to happen. But I mean, even Africa Debunked, of course, said earlier that it really is concerning, and it is from outside watching it. It's like, where did this come from? When did this start happening?
Let me also contextualize some of these things. These things are paid agents.
Yes.
They're paid, they're on social media because, and they're using this as a way to divide. There's an article that says Africa must fragment, and South Africa is the first one to fragment. This is a designed system that is wanting us to be separate from Black people. I have been called a Jolofina so many times. I take pride in being called a Jolofina as long as I stand with Black people. I will stand with a Black person in the diaspora. I'll stand with a Black person who is selling tomatoes, because you know what, Fox? I've given birth. I have given birth I know the pain of me as a black woman giving birth. I understand how our bodies were used to in the name of science. And I will never allow a black woman to go through the pain of giving birth on the pavement and in the cold. And we've called it out. We've called it out a number of times, but these people are given platforms by the system. And we need to fight the system, and we need to recognize that. And we need to recognize that not all of us belong to these movements that are anti-black. Just because I come from this country doesn't mean I'm anti-black, because I had to do the work, Fox, like many of us, where we had to unlearn and relearn and understand that what unites us is more than what divides us.
Yeah. Thank you very much for adding that. Yeah, we have to be aware of, like you say, paid agents. We've talked about this a lot, even when it comes to the FBA things. And then, of course, these things get pushed to the algorithm, right? And so then we start to see it, and we see it more. We need to have more conversations like this. And this is the problem, because it feels like, and I made this comment the other day, I always say that it feels like there's so much work to do, right? And every time it seems like we gain some ground, something happens, and then there's another conversation, but conversations is helping. Conversations always help. So we have to stay positive. And I like what you said, that we need to find what unites us, because sometimes I do get in my comment section say, well, black people we're against ourselves, and we're this and we're this and we're this. It's like, yes, we can look at that part, but if we keep looking at that part, we're missing the parts that do unite us. And that's why part of the first thing I ask you guys is, what's the ethnic background of your parents? Like, where do you guys come from? This is how we are going to unite. It's an ongoing thing. It is not something that's going to happen, of course, overnight, but it's going to happen. I like the way that you said you've given birth as well. So it is generational too. I don't have children. Well, you do. You're going to know that the conversations that you have are then going to go down to your children, and you're going to teach them another way. And so these things are things that we're going to see the change. It might not be today, but it will be in a few years' time. And this is how it always happens. Everything always happens in cycle. Yeah, you feel the pain of a black woman. Yeah, I've had to, again, the therapy gets me to feel less pain so I can talk more clearly about these things. I'm still trying to figure out how to do a showtime. I can't bloody do it. But Lawrence Sam is back now, but I'm going to go to Ayinde because Ayinde was waiting. And Lawrence Sam, I'll come to you after. You're there, right, Lawrence?
I'm here.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, we go to Ayinde. He's got 2 minutes, and then you'll have your 2 minutes as well, Lawrence Sam.
Yeah, so just one quick thing. My pronouns are they and them. Hi. Loreto, I wanted to ask you if it's okay if I shoot you a DM, because I'm with an organization called the Black Alliance for Peace, and we do coalition building and spread political education. And I wanted to touch base with you and see what's going on the ground there. That's one. Two, I think, Fox, in the conversation around what we do, I think what we need to do is take these kind of conversations and put them in our community on the ground in Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like when I was talking about revolution right earlier, we also need a cultural revolution. We need to help people change their minds, because like Loreto adequately pointed out, right, this we live in a system of indoctrination, right? And this is not even just Christianity. Somebody earlier was talking something that alluded to much more than trying to participate in black capitalism. We can't out oppress ourselves than the white people. I mean, that's there's just so much that we have to catch up on. Unfortunately, I got a meeting I got to go get ready for, so it's my morning starting. It's been a pleasure, y'all.
Capitalism. On that note, thank you so much, Ayinde. Thank you so much. And thank you again, as I said, for your pronouns. How do we do this? I think this is what we do. Yeah, so we're going to give now. So I'm glad. Good. This is what it's about, right? It's about connecting, making sure you're following each other, following people, having the conversation, bring what you learn back to the space. We are really, for me, I'm always about the unity. So thank you for saying that, Ayinde. Thank you. Lawrence, Sam, it's your 2 minutes now, my love.
Blessing, sister. Can you hear me?
Yes, blessings to you too, my brother. What would you like to add to the conversation? Anything on your mind or anything that you've heard you want to respond to?
Yeah. Or just listening to the thread of what you guys are talking about there about, unification. So like, I look at things historically, right? Because I see myself as an observer here on this planet, right? I just look at things and just take in the information and try and understand where we are and where we're going and why we are the way we are now. So like, I see like before our time, right? We were different people, right? Or not different people, the same black people, but we're all over Africa, right? And probably all over the planet if you go back thousands of years ago, right? But let's deal with Africa as a whole. So we're here in Africa and we're different tribes, different cultures, different languages, same spirituality, but different forms, different gods, right? Or different names of gods. And I look at it like our unification, right, is determined by the way that these people, these Europeans, the way that they operate on the planet, right? Because they don't like each other, okay? So when we talk about black people not liking each other, not getting along and fighting amongst ourselves, Europeans don't like each other, right? Their whole history is full of wars amongst each other, but they're united against us.
Yeah, they unite in their racism 100% of the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. They're 100% united against other, not just us, against other, because they know that they're a minority on the planet, right? And that's the only card they have, right? Is to gather themselves together, put their hatred aside and deal with us. Right? And that's how they manage to maintain their hegemony on the planet. So we need to do exactly the same. We need to be united in our offense against their offense on us. Yeah, so we need to protect ourselves and stand up for ourselves more, because like, this is exactly what they want. They want us fighting each other because basically colonialism is of the mind. So they colonized our mind through religion, sociology, all that. Even if you go to university, right, or you study, right, anything the European, it's part colonizing your mind is built into that structure. So you're going to be colonized to some degree anyway. So you always have to be protecting yourself spiritually, right? So if you're like, what's what I'm going to say? If you're like following Christianity or Islam or anything that's non-African, right, in a spiritual sense, that in part is you not being united with your own self. So you're always going to be fighting against something, right? So like, we really have to deconstruct our minds of European thought, if you understand what I'm trying to say,
Yes.
Like, we really are under mind control. All of us, even all of us here right now, we're all under mind control because we're trying to deconstruct something, And it just goes to show how much of a number that they've done on us, that we are where we are, talking about why are we fighting against each other? We're not really fighting against each other. Really, the battle is against them, not us. So we need to turn our battle outwards and not inwards.
Yes.
That's all I have to say.
Yep, exactly. And I think that's why a lot of us, or it doesn't seem enough, or maybe there is, who are on a decolonization journey. Because in everything that I say, it's always against the white narcissism. Everything I say, even when it comes to problems with South Asian community and the anti-blackness there, I'm like, okay, you guys sort your shit out. Literally sort your shit out. Why are you trying to come for us? Why have you got all that bullshit happening over there when the problem is the colonizer? Because they did a number on you too. It's supposed to be about the uniting of melanated people all the way around the world. That's how it's supposed to be, because the white man is the one that doesn't belong here. So if you're doing any of these things like in religion or in like, discriminating against other groups of people, you're literally playing the white man's game. And exactly, they're scared of our unity. So those people who haven't got the memo and you're still in spaces that are literally black people fighting each other or other groups of people that aren't white, you are not understanding what we're supposed to be doing here. Yeah, you're not
like
getting
China. I'm just going to finish with this, right? See China's rise, right, that we've seen in the last 50 years, right? It's built around the never again. And the never again, every time the Chinese have their conference, right? Their Communist Party.
It's even in their national anthem.
Yeah, and never again. What they're actually saying, never again is you going to humiliate them like this. And that's what drives them. And China is a place that's had a lot of civil war and a lot of what do you call it? Leaders that's been involved in a lot of killing of their own people, right? But they're united now. Everybody's behind their rise.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to be.
Yeah, they tried to tell the rest of the world that communism was a problem, but literally they've managed to make themselves so rich. The economy is strong. Everybody's buying things from China. They've managed to do it. And we know for the fact that even in our countries, mine in Nigeria, there's so much Chinese stuff there. So this is the problem. If you're still playing the white man's game and you're not actually focusing on the positive things about ourselves, you are really just not doing what needs to be done. I know I've just repeated myself, but I also want to introduce Turbo, because Turbo's just come to the panel. We're almost at 100K, guys. Let's reach to 100K, because then Turbo's going to be the last person I'm going to let up. And then I'm going to finish it. But please get to 100K. I still have one gift left to be gone, because everything else has been completed. So whoever can do this one right now, look at that straight away. Thank you so much, Enigma. That's it. Thank you so much, Enigma. And thank you again, Lawrence Sam. Thank you for that donut. And anybody else who wants to send gifts, of course, you are more than welcome to do so. Roses are only 1 coin as well. But anything else that you want to say is absolutely fantastic. Gifts are really appreciated, but let's get up to 1K. Okay, we're going to introduce Turbo. Turbo, could you give me the ethnic background of your biological mother and father, please, Turbo?
Yeah, they're South Sudanese.
South Sudanese. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, yeah, Turbo, I'm going to... Zodi said he wanted to say something, and then I will come back to you, Turbo. Okay. Oh, the corgi. Oh, look at that. Thank you, Fertile. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, Zodi, I'll come to you, and then Turbo, I'll come back to you. Zodi, what was it you wanted to add, my love?
Yeah, as regard how do we go from here? How do we become independent? And how do we have a united African? Just like what the Chinese did, you have to have a very good population that have the same mindset. Religion should be out of it. Then you have to have a very kind of good military industrial complex that defends you, right? And one thing that comes to mind, I always tell people, how do you feel when a country like the United Kingdom call you Commonwealth?
These phrases.
Does that tell you a thing? When I say, "Oh, you guys here are my Commonwealth," and
there is no wealth that is common within the Commonwealth.
So if I say, "Host, you my Commonwealth," Lawrence is my Commonwealth, Lorento is my Commonwealth, it means that I still kind of controls you. You see my gains.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
a lot of them still have the King of England as their head of state. So
most of the time before we run our general election, we always come here to get accolades before we go back and participate.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? We still have a long way to go.
A long way. And I think this is a really important point to make, is that, of course, China is one country. We're trying to unite a continent. That's going to take generations and generations. Generations to do, but we need to really focus on where we are from ethnically. I have to say, for those of you who know where you came from, that's where you should be focusing on your work first, right? You have to go back to your particular country, I'm saying now, because of course it was the colonizer that divided up our continent. So wherever your ancestry is, that's where you should focus on in terms of, having conversations, or whether you're starting business, or you're trying to wake people up from religion, or you're trying to get them back to spirituality, etc. Please make sure that that is your focus. Okay, Turbo, what would you like to add in the conversation today, please?
I really just came up here to say I love all my brothers and sisters around the world. I hope you guys are doing well, and just really want to just show support and love. I didn't really have too much to say.
Thank you. Even that is just really lovely to hear. Thank you so much. This is what I really love about these conversations, is that it's literally what's uniting us is our melanin, regardless of where we are, what our stories are, who we are, what we're enduring, our accents, the countries we're in, all of the stuff is to one side, because what is uniting us is the melanin. And we've had a really freaking fantastic conversation today. A lot about, the unity of Black people, massive conversation about religion and spirituality, which I said was really great for me. I will say again, for those of you who are waking up out of religion, especially if you're women, there is a group called Secular Sisters, CIC. You can find them on TikTok, okay? That's a women's space, Black women, Secular Sisters, CIC. Okay, that's my one recommendation for today. But I hope that a lot of this conversation really was great for people. Again, if you've never met me before, please do click the follow button. I have been on this live now for 3 hours. So, well done. Honestly, everybody who's come by to the conversation on the panel has been really beautiful today. And generally, it has been very beautiful, the conversations every week. But I've really enjoyed today, especially. And again, thank you so much for those who have sent gifts. Thank you to the amazing moderation we have down there. Thank you. We reached 100K. Thank you so much. Thank you as well for joining the community with the orange heart. Thank you for following. Thank you for getting us to League C5, top 10%. My next one will be next week sometime. So Fly Walker, please do check my updates. Because you know what, Fly? The reason why I thought of you is because I was re-watching back alive. I think it was one I did months ago about banter. I don't know if you remember this, Fly Walker. It was about British banter, and the guy on the panel was really angry, and you were like, God, you're really proving the point. Come on, do the banter. You don't remember? It's on my YouTube channel. Yeah, because I record and I upload them. But that's what you were saying to one of the panelists, and it was really funny. You were telling your story about having a sense of humour, and he was really not getting it. But Lerato, you've got something you want to close in, and then we will finish. Lerato.
Thanks, my sister. I think at some point we also need to have conversations around economy of Africa, because that is the biggest thing why these people do not want us to unite, because if you look at Africa's economy, we have all the minerals, we have all the resources that all of the continents desire. Africa, we are a 1.5 billion population. We are the youngest continent in the world with a median age of 18 years. These are the things that are making them go crazy, and why they keep on wanting us to be divided. Yes, it's about spirituality, it's about religion, but they've used our minds to trap us instead of us looking at where the real power is. And the real power is in the economy, because China got to be a superpower through the economy. So we need to start talking about how do we start holding our governments accountable to selling out to either the West or the East, right? So that we as Black people can also start living a life. It is unnatural. It is unnatural. Poverty is unnatural. It is violent. It is a violent system that has been put to Black people, and we've normalized it. So we need to start talking about the economy of how do we take back our resources as the African nations. And when I talk about Africa, I'm including the people in the Caribbean and in the diaspora. We need to have those conversations as well.
That's right. Absolutely, absolutely. And like I say, and I always bring it back to mind. If you are decolonized, you are able to have these conversations in these spaces. You're able to talk to the civilians on the ground about this. And once you do that, then you get into positions of power where you can actually make a change. I need people to be positive about this. It might feel like sometimes it feels like it's a big fight, but everything happens. We have small battles, right? It's small battles, okay? Don't take too much on for yourself. How I battle is literally in this space now, and I know where my journey is going. I know I'm going back to the motherland to make change. I make it very, very clear, especially those of us with colonized accents. This is also a privilege, right, that we have to talk to our people in the motherland and say, we were colonized. We know exactly what the Europeans are doing, because as part of colonization, a lot of people in the motherland don't still understand what has been done to them, but we are the awakened ones, right? And if you're awake, remember that you have the power. It is now for you to take what you've learned and really bring it back to who needs to hear this shit. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the conversation. Again, I repeat myself, thank you to the mods. You did great today. Thank you very much. Everything was blocked and muted as it should be. Thank you very much. 101,000 likes, fantastic. Yeah, thank you for following. Thank you for gifting up the panelists. Thank you for gifting me. Thank you, Smooth Chocolate. Thank you for Lorato. Thank you for the compliments as well. And thank you everybody else who has spoken today. Really appreciate you all. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely rest of your Saturday, and I will see you guys sometimes next week. I always put a status as to when I'm going to be all of this. Yeah. So Hoff says, keep growing hate between white and black. The reckoning will be all time. I think that is literally a white person, I think, who's saying that. The hate lives within you, Hoff. It doesn't live within us. The universe has already decided that you're going extinct, and we're watching it and having a good time. Right, see you later, guys. Bye. See you later.